crime. A crime where someone is attacking someone else, right, and brutalizing them. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. You got me so fucked up. I'm not gonna sit here and let you deconstruct words with me. No.
Well, no, I'm not trying to deconstruct anything. I'm trying to understand what you mean.
You know what brutality is. You know what.
Well,
stop that shit. Get the fuck out.
No. I want to know what I'm trying to understand. What you mean when you say.
I'm not doing that. You know exactly.
Can you
John, hold on. Wait.
Look, I think we should just look. If you're saying that men are meant to be violent and that's the way it's supposed to be, and men are supposed to dominate everything, then clearly black men are better than white men if they're so much more violent, like you're saying.
No, they're not. Because here's the deal. They're not. Because when white men commit themselves to fucking violence, they make the earth shake. That's why we run the fucking world, jackass.
Just a couple quick points. First point, this whole toilet thing that you're getting stuck on, Stardust, is not. You're totally twisting this. I was trying to comment that they poop on Western style toilets the same way they poop on their toilets, which they're literally standing on the lids. It's pretty crazy. They get water and shit on everything. Anyways.
We'll do openings after this. And again, we had a couple ideas for topics, and we kicked them around, and kind of, I guess it's just going to be more of exploration type deal of Mr. Frashcroft's views, and probably Stardust will come up. But that was kind of settled on. I mean, we could have shoehorned a topic in. There were a couple, but no reason to, really, I don't think. But anyway, go ahead and introduce yourself, John.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the Pajit chick trying to fucking psychoanalyze me.
Right?
Wait, sir. I was just playing. I told her before. I was just playing, man. I'm just fucking around, man. We're here to have fun, right? What's up, guys? John Fastcroft, man. I talk shit on the internet, man. Come check me out.
Well, that's a good description of me as well. So I'll take both those, the yin and the yang. All right, so I guess why don't we might as well start with you. I think it makes sense. How do you see the world? Or how would you describe yourself politically? What animates you? What are your top flavors as far as issues go, etc.?
I guess I would call myself a racial fascist, right? I think one of the most pressing things facing this country right now is minority crime. I think we see it everywhere. It's brutal, it's savage, and this is what you see in these people's home countries, right? These people are savage in their very nature by their genetic makeup. I have proof of that. And we should not be forced to live around them, right? We should not be forced to have to live around people who are brutal. And just they do not fit in with European civilization. They don't fit in with our customs and our way of life. It's not even, you know what? Ultimately, I don't give a fuck what is or isn't fair to them. But if we're being honest, it's not even fair to try to get these people to live in a European society. That's why America is such a shithole now. Because they come in and they degrade the civilization, right? They water down everything they touch because they don't have any ability to keep it up, right? They don't have the ability to keep up with our civilization. And I just don't think that it's fair to us or them to force us to live with one another.
Now, where are we going to go from there? What would you say to that, Stardust? Of course, we can take it anywhere. Like I said, it's kind of just a discussion, basically, between two folks. What would you say to that? How would you describe yourself, too, if you'd like? And then you can pick up off that if you want.
Yeah, just your typical run-of-the-mill libtard, if you will. I don't think that there's too much to say about me. I'm sure you guys can pretty much guess. Liberal, feminist, yeah, all of the normal.
Now, wait, you say that. Hold on. Now, you say that, but if I was to sit here and make aspersions about usual lefty stuff that maybe you weren't a part of, you'd say, oh, well, why do you think I'm like that or whatever? Right? I mean, you would though, right? Like,
well, I would disavow certain things. Yeah. Generally lefties hate me too. So.
Yeah, that's why I say that. That's why I bring that up because anyway, go ahead. What would you say to his opening here? Again, I don't know what we're doing, where we're going with this.
Honestly, I disagree with what he's saying, but I don't really do opening statements. I guess I would say I disagree with what you're saying. I believe that there are studies that show that actually minorities who come here initially don't commit much crime as much as the native population. It's when they become
but their kids.
Wait,
Sorry, I
wait.
didn't mean to cut you. I'm
It's-
sorry. My bad.
It's when
That
it's
was-
when
yeah,
they
my bad.
become it's when they become integrated into American culture that you start to see that the crime rate actually becomes on par with the population here.
Yeah, it's called regression to the mean.
Okay.
That's called regression to the mean. Yes, when the first generations get here, they're excited, right? They have a new opportunity that they've never had before. But once they get 2 or 3 generations into it, they just regress back to their animalistic nature, right? And they start committing extremely violent crimes. And you know what? You can't even say that, like, I reject the idea that it's socioeconomic, because you see millionaire football players driving around with bodies in their fucking trunk, kicking in front doors, beating the shit out of their coal burner wives, right? We see this over and over and over. Just brutalization from these people, no matter what area of life they're in, no matter what country they're in. Their crime rate in the UK is almost identical to their crime rate here, which is almost identical to their crime rate in fucking South Africa. Everywhere these people go, they are just violent by their nature. It comes from an excess of the MAOA gene, and they have up to 13% ghost DNA. 13% of West African DNA, and this is only in been in a study in West Africa. They didn't study the whole continent of Africa. So just this small population in West Africa that they studied had 19% of their DNA can't even be traced back to a common human ancestor.
Okay. So what I would say is that what you have just said it doesn't really refute what I've said about American assimilation resulting in more crime. It's not clearly 2 to 3 generations in. You yourself said 2 to 3 generations in that the crime rate actually becomes that on par with the local population, right? So if anything, you are actually affirming my statement.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
That's not what I said. I said their crime rate becomes on par with their populations in other countries where they reside. Their crime rate compared to the population here in America, everybody knows the statistic. I hate even doing it because it's become such a cheesy meme. But their crime rate here is they are 13% of the fucking population, and they are responsible for 52% of the violent crime.
Are you talking about which population?
Listen, hold on, let me finish. Blacks, Africans, blacks.
Okay.
All right. Now let her
Blacks.
do it. Hold on.
Well, let me finish my
Okay. All right, finish.
Yeah. If you break that statistic down to blacks who are actually capable of committing crimes, these violent crimes that we're talking about what blacks between the age of 11 and 60. That's like 8% of the population is responsible for fucking 52% of the violent crime. I think it's even more than that, but this is just what they tell us. I don't even believe that statistic. I think it's more like fucking 65, 70. But, that's neither here nor there. That's my own opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's you. If you are trying to tell me that black people are not a scourge of violence in this country, you're not living in reality. You're not.
Okay, so what I would say, well, first off, I didn't know we were only talking about black people, but what I would say to that is I do think that socioeconomic factors do play a large role in this. You can take a look at any poorer population. There will be more crime in a poorer population. That's just how it is, especially when you look at the environmental pollution and the accessibility to education, if you're hungry growing up, you are just not going to have the same development as your peers. But that's what I would say about that. I really am more.
But it's not the same though. Can I respond to that real quick?
Go ahead, respond real quick and let her talk. No, it's fine. Yeah. That's okay. Go ahead.
It's not the same, right? You can't just breeze past that, right? The crime rate in an all Polish neighborhood in New York is not the same as the crime rate in fucking Cabrini Green in Chicago. Yeah, you might have guys that get drunk in the Polish neighborhood. You might have guys that get drunk and beat up their wife or rob a house or something, but they're not all out fucking shootouts, hundreds of rounds in the middle of the daylight. Just shooting innocent bystanders. Literally urban warfare in the fucking streets. That's never happened in white neighborhoods. Ever. It doesn't happen. That is something exclusive to the African. And the Mexican. I'm sorry. We'll get to them in a minute, though. We haven't got there yet. We're still talking about Mexicans. I'm sorry. We're still talking about Africans.
Black, African American. All right. Go ahead, start us.
Yeah. So I really wanted to have more of a conversation on what brought you to your views currently, but regarding
that too.
regarding
We can do that.
yeah. Regarding this though, I don't really think that that's a very like holistic view of things. If you look at any poor neighborhood, white or black, it's just going to have more likelihood of
violence
there
is
being
different.
violent crime. I
it's
wouldn't say
different.
that. I wouldn't say that.
I would, and you can see it. There's proof. Like, see, this is what I'm talking. And I'm sorry, but this is what I'm talking about you not living in reality. You're doing this just to argue, and fair enough. That's what we're doing here. We're debating, and I understand you're trying to defend your point, but what you're saying isn't in reality. You know Stardust. You personally, you fucking know. Excuse me, I'm about to say the N-word. Blacks are fucking violent, and you know it. Blacks are fucking violent, and you know it, and they're incredibly violent. Violent at disproportionate rates that will make your fucking head spin when you actually are honest with yourself about it. You can't be honest and say that's not true. You can't.
I can.
I mean, you can for the sake of the show, but you know you're not being honest.
No, I am being honest. I disagree with you. If you look at we can look at Italian gangs back in the 20s, right? Or we can look at any white neighborhood, any white Well, let me finish what I'm speaking, okay? I let you finish your sentences.
I know. I'm sorry. You're right. That was rude. I'm sorry.
It's fine. If you look at any drug-ridden neighborhood, if you look at any white drug-ridden neighborhood, you'll find plenty of violent crimes. You'll find plenty of violent crimes in any gang activity where there's white people, right? Even like this. Sorry. Yeah, they're.
So, real quick, can I respond to just the piece of that?
What are you clicking on there? Hold on.
Yeah, because she's trying to get resources and shit right now. So while you're doing that, let me.
It's not. Hold on, John. Hold on.
No.
Look something up. I'm not against that. I'm just wondering what it is you're trying to read. Like, we won't stop you. I just want to know what it is.
Yeah. I know. I was just I was looking at something that was like talking about the same 1350 thing that you're talking about, but yeah.
Can I respond to the Italian gangs thing?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I want to respond to this real quick. So let's look at that for a minute. Let's look at one of the most prolific attacks perpetrated by the Italian mafia, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, right? This is written about in history books. It's like it's one of the most brutal fucking things ever seen in America. I think there were like, 4 to 7 people killed? Dude, that is an average fucking night in Chicago or Baltimore or St. Louis or fucking Miami or Jacksonville or fucking LA or fucking Brooklyn or anywhere these people are. That is like an average fucking night. And that is written when white people did it one fucking time. It's written as like the most brutal fucking thing that ever happened in the history of fucking New York. And there weren't even that many fucking people killed. Like, that just puts it into perspective for you of how right I am and how brutal these people are. The St. Valentine's Massacre was a fraction of what happens in one neighborhood over one weekend with these people.
Now, let you pick that up, Stardust. For the record, that was in Chicago, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, just want to be clear. But that's okay. Small point, not quibbling with overall. But
no, thank you for fair enough. Yeah,
I'm a gangster historian. Go ahead. Go ahead, Stardust.
No problem. 2018 FBI report. Here, I'll link it to you. You'll see that whites commit 68.1% of all rape cases, 61.9% of all aggravated assault cases, 68.1% of all burglary cases, 71.1% of arson cases, 58.7% of violent crimes, 66.9% of property crimes, and 72.1% of sex offenses. So it looks like, statistically, that white people...
To follow up with... go ahead, finish your thought. But you know what I'm going to follow up with, but go ahead.
Okay, what are you going to follow? I don't know what you're going to follow up
with. I mean, it's a meme kind of on our show, I guess, per capita or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
sure. Man,
hold on, wait, let me in.
I'm sorry.
There's more white people than there are any other race in the country. There'll be more of them committing crimes, but that doesn't necessarily mean, on average, you understand likelihood and probabilities and numbers of people, or do you think that matters? I mean, do you think the overall number maybe it means more to you, the overall number?
I don't honestly. I am not really. I don't really care about who commits more crimes. What I care about is like alleviating the issues that cause people to be more likely to commit those crimes.
You can't alleviate genetics.
I don't think it's genetics though. I don't think it's all genetics.
But it is. Okay, so check this out. Let's take race out of this for a second, okay? Have you ever heard of the there's a documentary, and I'm probably going to fuck up the name of it, but it's something to the like Three Perfect Strangers or something like that is the name of this documentary. And what this documentary is about is there was a government program up in the Northeast somewhere where the government went to this orphanage and they separated twins without letting them know, okay? They separated. This study was literally about free will. They were trying to study to see if people actually had free will. They separated these twins and never let them know about each other. These twins ended up meeting up. Two of them ended up meeting up with each other in college. All of their friends were like, hey, you look just like this guy. You look just like this guy. You guys got to meet each other. So they meet each other. Come to find out their girlfriends look almost exactly the fucking same. They drive like the same kind of fucking car. They smoke like the same kind of cigarettes. They say the same little like ad libs like, hey, what you doing, Jack? You know, like all this little shit. They say all of the same shit. All three of them. And they've never met each other. Your genetics mean something. Genes determine who you are to a degree. And these people's genes are fucking violent.
I don't disagree that genes do play a part, but I think that we are too quick to just point at genes and not look at the surrounding environment that causes people to grow up and be more likely to be violent later. It's like the same thing with gender things, right? People say, oh, this certain sexes are more likely to do certain things. I'm not going to deny that. But, I mean, there is some social conditioning. There is some environmental conditioning that causes people to be more likely to do things.
Yeah, but genes are a big part of that, and that's why you don't see such violence. That's why when you see these same socioeconomic conditions, copied or in a white neighborhood, when you see these same socioeconomic conditions in a white neighborhood, you do not see the same level of brutality in the crime. You just don't. You don't. Even if there is, and I reject this idea, but just giving you this, even if there is a comparable percentage of quote unquote crime, the level of violence and brutality of those crimes will be far less in a white neighborhood than they will be in a black or even a Mexican neighborhood. And also, I want to clear one thing up about. I just want to mention one more thing about this FBI.gov statistic about white people. Have you ever seen like the FBI's top 10 most wanted?
No, I haven't.
Go look at it sometime, and they'll have like Hector Gonzalez Luis fucking Fernando as a white male. Okay. They're registering Mexicans and Arabs as white males in some of these crimes. So I don't really believe that whole deal right there. Okay, and that's what I was saying. The same thing about the table 42 thing, the 13 and 50. I don't believe that's accurate. I think it's actually far worse.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you're going to, you may as well throw out any statistics that you have as well then, because if you're basing it off of that and you're saying that that's not seen as reliable in your eyes, then why are you even relying on it? Just throw out the statistics altogether. Secondly, what I would say is that what do you define as brutality?
Violent crime, a crime where someone is attacking someone else, right, and brutalizing them.
Okay,
that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. You got me so fucked up. I'm not gonna sit here and let you deconstruct words with me.
Well, I'm not trying to deconstruct anything. I'm trying to understand what you mean by.
You know what brutality is. You know what brutal violence is. Stop that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
No. I want to know what I'm trying to understand what you mean when you say.
Nope, I'm not doing that. You know exactly what the fuck I mean.
Can you let me finish what I'm saying?
I'll handle it, Molly. Go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead.
When you say that you think that people of color are so much more likely to commit more brutal, violent crimes than white people, I'm trying to understand what you mean by more brutal. What examples
No,
do you
you
have?
know what I mean. You know what the fuck I mean. I just went
don't.
through it. I talked about shooting in the street.
Well, let me ask
fucking
you.
beating. I mean,
Hold
come on, man.
wait,
This is
wait.
retarded.
Hold on. When you say more grisly, I mean, I assume that you mean they're more likely to commit more grisly murders or more grisly rapes. Or is that what you mean? I'm assuming.
Or even just, not even murder, just physical attacks. These are the people that will kick your unconscious head into the fucking concrete over and over and over until you have fucking brain damage. Like,
I
this
would
is
say
just
getting
brutal
shot
shit.
is less brutal than getting knifed, right?
No, they're equally as brutal. They're
least
equally as
getting
brutal.
shot,
I
I
think.
feel like I'd
Hey,
die
check this
quicker.
out. I think getting your fucking head kicked into the fucking concrete is equally as brutal as getting shot. Like, so you're trying to take someone's life. It's all fucking brutal. You're sitting here trying to put levels onto a fucking heinous
You're the
crime.
one who
Fuck
brought
that.
levels
you
into
know,
this. I
you
wouldn't have
know
brought
exactly
levels.
what the fuck I'm
I
talking
wouldn't
about.
have brought levels into this if you had not brought levels into this first. You're the one who brought up brutality as something that you're measuring with. So I'm just trying to understand what you are defining as brutality. I never would have brought that into this if you hadn't brought this up
That's
yourself.
just that's a deconstruction argument and it's bullshit.
Let's just drop
And we're gonna go to the next thing. Yeah, because it's retarded.
No, but we'll drop it completely. But like, okay, we can't argue about what he means by that. I don't know. But he's saying that he thinks that they're more violent by nature, basically. Black people, I guess that's what you're saying, right? That's what you think. John, that's you, right?
Correct.
But he also said that he thinks that even when whites do commit crimes, that blacks are more likely to do more brutal crimes.
Yes, and I already explained this earlier when I was talking about the fucking Polish neighborhoods. I already explained this shit. I said, you might have a guy that gets drunk and beats up on his wife. You might have a guy that, like, breaks into someone's house. You might have domestic violence, small shit like that. There may be crime in those neighborhoods, car break-ins, small shit like that. But it's not all-out fucking urban warfare in the street. I already said this shit, and you know it. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to talk in circles?
All right, now, go ahead, Stardust, if you want to follow. He's saying you're talking in circles. I mean, I understand both sides of it. Of course, I'm supposed to be that way. I'm the moderator, but I mean,
I don't know. Like, you're saying that, okay, despite white people committing more crime, that when they do commit violent crime, that violent crime is more brutal, which I've yet to see an example of. And then you brought up NFL players for some reason who are very well known to have concussions and themselves actually come from lower income neighborhoods a lot of the time. So I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not following, I guess.
Oh, okay, do you want me to bring up rappers or like some other fucking millionaire Negro that has created a heinous crime? I mean, what about the Ledbetter dude? There's a guy, I forget his fucking full name, but Ledbetter. This is from like the 1920s or 30s. He became a famous fucking musician playing jazz and was like a fucking serial killer, right? Over and over and over with these people.
Okay.
Socioeconomics mean nothing to these people, no matter if they're poor, no matter if they're... That doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't. I came from a fucking poor background. I was poor as shit. I didn't run around fucking murdering people.
Sure, not everybody runs around murdering people, but I think
Jesus
that socioeconomic...
Christ, this is such a ridiculous argument. Like, Jesus Christ,
I
man.
do think that socioeconomic upbringing and
Well,
you know what you're
think
exposed
that all
to.
you want.
Well,
Like, you
I'm
can
not saying it.
feel
It's
that.
actually medical consensus that that depending on the environmental pollution that you're exposed to, the most trace amounts of it can affect your brain development.
Yeah,
your
what fucking
cognitive
Jew wrote
development.
that paper? Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on.
Why does it have to be a Jew?
Because it always fucking is. That's
all
why.
right. Okay, I got you. Paint it in a little.
Sorry.
All right, no, it's cool. But
So when did you start getting into all this stuff?
yeah, that's what to say. You wanted to talk about that too, and I
Yeah. Were you always
getting into all
believing-
what stuff?
Were you always like this how do I say it? Were you always this enthusiastic about these topics?
I would say that, yes. I would say that. So no, I wasn't always a white nationalist or a racist, if that's the word you were looking for. No, I wasn't. But I have always known and been this enthusiastic about these particular issues. Let me give you a little, for instance. I'm not gonna say where I'm from or anything like that. I don't want to get too doxy because Ralph's show's a little bit too big for me to do that on. But I grew up in an extremely fucked up neighborhood, extremely fucked up neighborhood. I was one of like I think 6 white families or so that lived in this entire neighborhood. There was a high Hmong population, they're Southeast Asians, and the rest of it was mostly black with a few Mexican families peppered in there as well. I have 2 friends doing one doing life in prison, 2 kids that I grew up with, one doing life in prison for murder, another one doing like 65 years for attempted murder and possession of narcotics. A couple different weird fucking possession charges. I had one friend murdered who ran into a restaurant and died in the middle of the restaurant. It was all over the fucking news. Right? I grew up around these people, and I know their very nature, and I know how they are. I've stayed at their houses. I know how their fucking parents are. I have intimate knowledge with the Negro, right? I mean, I know that sounds weird, but I do. I grew up around them. Like, through my whole fucking, I went to fucking elementary, middle school, and high school with them. My mother worked with a black lady, and her kids would come over to our house every morning, and then we would all walk to school together, right? I know the nature of these people, so I haven't always been racist, but I've always known that blacks are violent because I've been engulfed in their fucking their spaces my entire life, right? I was, like I said, I was poor. We had no ability to move out of there. My mom worked by herself. My stepdad was a fucking turd. He didn't ever work. So that's a whole different story. We're not going to get into that, right? But I've always known the nature of the black, right? I always have. I was huge, and I know people in the chat are saying I sound like an African. That's because I was a huge wigger in my youth. I ran around with a gang, you know what I mean? And that was my life for a long time.
What made you join like this gang that you're talking about?
I just ran around with them every friend. I didn't join any gang. I ran around with them. They were the kids that I grew up with. No, I never joined any. But no, hold on. So when I was also real big into like the festival scene for a while. I've done a bunch of stuff. I'm 38 years old. You know what I mean? So I've had a hell of a ride throughout my life. But what really brought me around to being vocal about this was all of the things after the Michael Brown shooting. I found myself getting into arguments with people in my personal life because I knew how these people were. I knew that these are violent people that you have to deal with this in this manner. If they're coming for your gun, they're going to grab it and they're going to kill you. I knew the nature of these people. So I found myself always like, no, what you don't understand is, excuse me, I've got to try to watch my mouth. Blacks are violent, right? I'm trying so hard, Ralph. I swear to God. And then it was one after another of these blacks getting themselves made good, and people crying their fucking eyes about a total fucking piece of shit. And then it just dawned on me, like, okay, so now our entire society is going to be upended for the scum of the earth, while throwing the founding stock, the children of the founding stock in the fucking trash. We're going to trample over white civilization. The children of the founding stock.
Okay.
Right? The white children of this country, right? The founding stock of this country. While we throw them to the side and kick them in the gutter and tear their fucking monuments down and erase their history and give their cities that their fucking forefathers built over to the absolute scum of the earth, we're then going to worship them and raise statues to them. And at that point, I just couldn't fucking take it anymore because everybody knows that what I'm saying is true. Everybody knows, even people who try to deny it like yourself, you know what I'm saying is right. You know what I'm saying is right. You won't go fucking live in Cabrini. You won't go live in South Chicago. I guarantee you that.
I mean, I'm from the D.C. area, so, but
you ain't from the fucking ghetto of D.C. Get out of town.
Well, no, I never claimed that. No, but I wanted to ask some more questions, I guess, about this. So you said you grew up in that area. So you said it was like the Michael Brown shooting that really made you kind of start shifting?
Not that in particular. No, not that in particular. It was,
okay.
But that it was just, one. But it was Michael Brown. It was actually Trayvon Martin, but I was actually, I was in prison during the Trayvon Martin thing, so that didn't really affect me much. I wasn't politically engaged. Ecstasy pills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, anyhow, I got out in 2014, and literally like weeks after I got out, the Michael
How
Brown
long
shooting
were you
happened.
in for?
I don't want to get too much into that. If you want to know offline,
Yeah, that might be a
you know
little
what I mean?
long.
We're getting
Oh.
we're getting a little personal here
Okay,
now.
sorry,
you know what I mean?
didn't
So,
mean to.
yeah.
You don't have to answer that then.
No, yeah.
I understand what he means though, because they can nail down people's identities.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they can look shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are weird and people hate us. You know what I mean? Like, it's really unfortunate. I would love to be talking to you face to face right now, but unfortunately I can't because people will try to ruin my life just for me speaking my mind. You know what I mean? And you know why? Because they know I'm right. Right? That's why. That's why we
Why
have
do
to
you
hide
think
our
they
fucking
know
face,
that?
Stardust. Because the reason we have to hide our face, because if we weren't right, if the shit that we were saying didn't mean anything and it was just cool, crazy shit, they wouldn't give a fuck. They're not censoring flat earthers, right? Because everybody knows that shit's retarded, right?
Well,
Nobody cares about that shit.
Why do you care if you know that you're right and you know that everybody else is wrong? Why do you care what other people think then?
It's not about what they think. It's about what they do, right? I have a family, and my wife has a job that she could get in a lot of she would lose that job, right?
Mm-hmm.
If these things came out. My son has to go to school, right? I don't need these people doing weird shit at my son's school, right? I have people in my family that actually have pretty important jobs that, it would be really shitty of me to jeopardize that, for my own ego.
I think
Okay.
that's. Yeah, that's.
So, okay. Do you know? Did you notice that it was like more men or women committing these crimes when you were like in this neighborhood that you're talking about?
I'm sorry, ask that again?
Yeah. So, would you say it was more men or women committing crimes?
I mean, what are we doing here? Men. I mean, everybody knows men commit more crime. What the fuck is going on here?
Well, I'm asking that maybe it's I don't know, given that there's such a disparity in the statistics, maybe it's more of a man thing than it is a race thing.
No.
Why do you say
No.
that?
I mean, no. Because I just, oh my motherfucking God. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, but I'm not going to go back and give you the same fucking argument that I opened the fucking show with.
Well,
right?
you didn't really address
Black
the man.
people commit more crime.
Yeah,
I wasn't even fucking talking about women. Women
But-
had no
right, but
bearing in that
men-
fucking conversation. I was
but
talking
men
about
commit
men.
more
When I said black people, I was talking about white men versus black men, and you know that's what I meant. So stop doing
but
this shit.
Overall,
Jesus fucking Christ,
overall,
man.
men commit much more crime than women do. So if you're talking about black people this way, why aren't you talking this way about men? It seems like men are really more of the issue than women or race. There's a much larger disparity in the
I don't.
crimes
That is
committed.
so
Wait, no,
retarded. I
let me
don't
finish,
even know how to fucking
finish.
answer that.
Let me finish. There's way more disparity in the statistics when it comes to men committing crime and women committing crime. Than there's disparity in the statistics between black and white.
Woman. I was fucking talking about men. What are you talking about?
What you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
What are you even saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
Listen. Okay, I'll explain it to you. You are focused on race so much when the difference in crime committed between the races is far less than the difference in crime committed by genders. So maybe you should be more focused on gender. Maybe men are the issue.
That is retarded.
How?
That's just fucking retarded. I was talking about men. I mean,
I know
I'm
you're
not even going to
talking
get
about
into
men,
That's
but I'm
fucking
saying you're
retarded. Of
focused
course,
on-
everybody
you're
knows
focused on the
women
wrong
don't
thing.
commit fucking violent crime at alarming rates. This is a retarded argument. No,
it's
let's
not.
go do something else.
You're
Yes,
saying
it is.
you're saying that you're so focused on race when clearly the even bigger factor in whether somebody commits crime or not is not the race but the gender.
Yeah, and black men commit much more heinous crimes than white men. I accept
Men
that.
commit
Whatever
more
you're
heinous
trying to do
crimes
there,
in general.
Hey, listen. Whatever you're trying to do here, whatever little Jewish trick you're trying to pull, I'll take it. Whatever
You think
this
I'm
is,
Jewish?
yes, okay. Man, I do actually. I know everybody says you're Indian, but I went to his. I knew.
Why are
some
you
Pas-
insecure
I knew
about
some-
Jewish people?
I knew some Patels. I knew some
Wait,
Patels
why
in my
are
life,
you?
and they
why are you-
didn't look like you. They didn't look like you. They didn't have no
why
fucking
are
beak
you-
like that hanging off the front of their fucking head.
Oh, come on. Fast, hold
Why
on.
are you? Wait, why are you so insecure about the Jews?
I'm not insecure about the Jews. We could talk about them all fucking night if you want to, but I don't
Are-
think Ralph wants us to do that, sweetheart.
Well, we can talk about them. Let's think about we're on air. Remember on
They,
the
they
kill.
don't commit.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
won't use
commit
any
crimes
pejoratives.
Yes.
the certain populations.
No, my
that you're
problem with
talking
Jews
about.
is much different. My problem with Jews is much different than it's not criminal. I mean, it is criminal, but it's not violent.
Okay, what
right?
about Asians?
My
'Cause
problem with
Asians
Jews,
don't commit
It's
crimes.
violent in the show ever. I just want to be clear. Go ahead.
Asians don't
What'd you
commit
say, Ralph?
crimes.
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry, somebody talk. Sorry, Stardust. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say
No,
first.
no, I'm just saying, like, you know, what you're very concerned about Jewish people. Jewish people don't commit crimes like that. And then if we look at Asian people,
No, they
don't
commit crimes of
like
the
that.
they commit crimes of the mind and the soul. Right, those are the crimes
How do you
Jews
measure
commit.
that?
They are by the degeneracy that they push out into your society. Jews are the number one distributors of fucking filth, dude. You know,
What is
all
filth?
the way back to fucking Babylon, they've always been gender
Tell me
bending,
about today.
ridiculous, disgusting homosexuals. Always. Today, all of your top pornography producers are fucking Jews. The first person to ever do a transgender surgery was a disgusting Jew by the name of Magnus Hirschfeld in Germany. These people have always been filth. And when they're not trying to fucking destroy your civilization with their disgusting degeneracy, they're coin clipping you and they're hiking up interest rates. And that's why they've been kicked out of every fucking country they've ever lived in.
All right, Fastcroft. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
What about Asians? You have a problem with Asians?
I don't. I married one time, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm asking John Fashcroft here, since he has a problem with all these other ethnicities. I want to know what his thoughts on
Well,
Asians
they say
are.
Asian, but anyway, I won't get into that discussion either. But
If you think that
anyway.
IQ is so important, or that you think that you know, genetics are so important, right? Asians tend to do very well in that category. So
Which of course, I pointed that out. Yes, I thought that was unspoken, but anyway. Fastcroft, are you there? Is he there? Can you hear me, man?
I think he's muted.
Yeah, I can't hear him at all. Did he? Yeah, he's muted. Oh, you know what? He might have. Maybe somebody ran up on him or something. And he
Shit,
had-
sorry guys. Yeah, did you not? So, did you hear what I said about the Asians? I'm sorry guys. Like I said,
No.
the Asians will be the, you know, like the saying goes, man. The Asians will be the hardest part. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
That's
Wait,
grandma.
what's
the
your
hardest part of-
justification of
The hardest part of getting rid of all you motherfuckers will be letting go of the Asians because they're really not all that bad.
All right.
Why would you want to get rid of them?
Because I just don't want to live around. You know, whether they're violent or not, or they're subversive or not, or they're pornographic or not, I just don't want to live around other cultures. Right? I prefer the culture of the European man. Right? I prefer it. I don't want some weird bug person sitting outside their house, cooking on a wok, squatting down, cooking some stinky shit. I don't want to have your people next to me cooking curry and all this weird. I don't give a fuck about your special foods or the music that's brought by diversity or none of this dumb shit. I would much rather have Mozart and haggis and be the fuck away
Mozart
from
and
all of you guys.
haggis. Haggis? Really? Haggis? You're gonna choose all the different European dishes out there. You're gonna
I
choose
intentionally
haggis.
picked the worst one. I
You'll-
intentionally picked the worst one.
Well, I don't know.
Just to reiterate my point.
Haggis, really.
That's the worst the white man has to offer, and he was still.
I don't know if that's the word.
Exactly, exactly. And I would still rather have that shit than some Chopin playing while I eat it and have to deal with this fucking shit another day, dude.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
As far as violent crimes go, again, I would reiterate that it's like 80% men. So maybe
Okay,
I'm just
what the
saying.
fuck
I'm
ever,
proposing.
dude.
Maybe.
I gave you that 20 fucking minutes ago.
I know,
Whatever.
but you're not seeming to get what I'm saying here. Is that you're so obsessed with
No,
race?
you don't seem
when
to
it's
get
80%
that. I'm saying I don't
of
give
men,
a fuck.
Maybe,
Whatever.
Maybe. What if? Okay, here's this. How about this? How would you feel if you if all the women started banding together and saying men commit 80% of crimes, we should get them the fuck out of here because that's all they're doing.
What would you say?
Sorry, man. No, sorry. I had to hit my fucking vape. This fucking retarded questioning is stressing me out, man. This is dumb, and I don't want to do it anymore. Yes, men commit crime. Duh. That's what I was talking about.
Right.
I was
what
talking
I'm
about
saying,
black men and white men.
What
and
would
we
you
haven't.
do?
You have
How
been
would you
taught. You have been
feel?
you have been so fucking thunderstruck this whole time. You keep
Thunderstruck?
talking
What does
yourself in
thunderstruck
circles.
mean?
We haven't even got to fucking Mexicans yet,
Okay,
and we're not gonna have
wait.
time to because
Now,
I have a show I got to do myself.
Okay.
No, wait,
sure.
hold on.
Sure. What I'm saying is, how would you feel if women got together and just said, yo, all these men are committing 80% of violent crimes. Why the fuck are we letting them live in our society? We should just move
I
them
would
away.
laugh. I would laugh at them because nobody takes women seriously, and women shouldn't be involved in politics.
Well,
That's
you know
I
what?
would do.
Maybe
I would
we
fucking
should be
laugh at
because
them.
you guys are doing 80% of violent crimes. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe men are a little bit fucked up in the head. You ever think about that?
Whatever. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're not breaking any fucking like you're not breaking any new ground here. Like, who gives a fuck?
I shouldn't have made that joke, but what do you say to that though? That maybe, I mean, that's a fair thing that she's raising there, a talking point that she wants you to answer. Like, what do you say though? Maybe it's just men that are violent, and it has nothing to do with race.
Men are violent by our very nature. I mean, like that's why we have wars and shit. But what the difference is European man does not have an access of the MAOA gene, which causes you to act out violently. We have more control over our emotions, right? We have more control
Clearly
over our
not.
emotions. We have less of a tendency to
Clearly
lash out
not
violently.
as much as women.
Me, who gives a fuck? I'm not talking about fucking women, front hole.
Right, but
I don't
you're
give a
talking
shit about
about-
women.
You're
I'm talking about
this
men. We are
crime
talking about
disparity
African
between
men.
races.
We are talking about,
talking about
yes,
crime
the
disparities
difference
between races,
We're talking
but-
about the crime disparities between the violent aspects of each race, which is
Okay,
men.
but men in general are just fucking violent. And you know what? Throughout history,
Yes.
men have been holding down women. Throughout history, men
And they're
have been-
going to keep doing it.
Yeah, so
Get
maybe
used
we
to
should
it.
just get rid of men. Maybe that's
No, because
maybe
that's the natural
solution.
order, woman. That's what you don't understand. That's where you're supposed to be.
Maybe the natural
That's
order
the
is
natural
more
fucking
violence then.
order.
Is that what you're saying? Maybe we should just have more black people then. If you're saying that
Hey, I don't give a fuck
that
how many black
violence-
people we have as long as they're not in my fucking country.
Okay, you know what? I think we should have all the black people. We should take all the black people and just have them all in America. Okay, I think every
I
single
bet you
black
fucking
person,
do. I
Well,
bet you fucking
look,
do think
if
that.
Here's the thing, dude. Here's where
I
you're
get
not
that.
consistent.
I
Here's where
understand
you're-
that about
Let
you.
me finish.
I
Let me
get
finish.
that.
Let me finish. Okay, if you are saying in one sentence that men are meant to be violent, that's the way that things are, and in the other sentence saying that, well, black people are way more violent and we shouldn't have them here, I don't know, dude. You're kind of being inconsistent. Maybe maybe black men are the better men. You ever think about that? If they're more violent,
Oh
you're
my
saying that's the
God.
way that they're supposed to be? You ever think
I
that?
never said, hey, first of all, not paying attention to what women have to say politically doesn't equate to fucking violence, right?
But men are just 80%
you guys
more
are,
violent.
Yeah, and so what? And fucking
Look, I think
Africans
we should just look. If
are
you're
20
saying that
times more
men are
fucking
meant to
violent
be
than white men, I'm
violent,
not
and
gonna-
that's the way it's supposed to be, and men are supposed to dominate everything, then clearly black men are better than white men if they're so much more violent, like you're saying.
No, they're not. Because here's the deal. They're not. Because when white men commit themselves to fucking violence, they make the earth shake. That's why we run the fucking world, jackass.
I mean,
Blacks,
clearly not enough.
blacks just,
You're so upset
blacks
about
just
black
have
people.
blacks just have no fucking impulse control, and they attack old women and shit.
No, maybe-
like Billy
maybe
Chermirmir,
white people-
like Billy Chermirmir, that fucking
Maybe
piece of
men
shit that went around
maybe
choking
men
out
in
the lives
general
of old
have
white women.
no impulse control. How about
No,
men in general?
absolutely
80%
not. How about
more violent crime?
How about blacks in general have no fucking impulse
80%
control? I'm
men
not
in
doing this
general,
circular shit with you. You're a
80%
fucking
more
retarded.
violent crime. 80% more violent crime. You're not being consistent. The only one who's not consistent here is you.
I am being. That's
You
retarded.
are not.
Whatever.
You are not. You're saying that it's the way of the world that men are violent. That's the way we're supposed to be. And then you're saying,
I never
well,
said that. I said men are more violent than women by their nature, jackass. And I said men are supposed to subjugate you, front hole.
why?
That's what I said.
Why? Why are men supposed to subjugate me?
Because look at how you look at how you behave when they don't.
When that you don't think black men are doing what they're supposed to do then.
No, wait. He's hitting the baby.
What?
No, repeat what you said because I didn't quite get it either. You said you didn't think black people. What do you mean by that? Wait, hold on. Wait,
circles, dude.
What I'm saying is this guy here is saying that men are meant to subjugate women or whatever, and it's in men's nature to be more violent and all of that. But he's so upset about
the fact
black
that
men.
hold on, no.
Wait,
the fact that men.
Let me finish.
Hold on, let her finish. I'm gonna let you speak. I swear. And by the way, y'all both stepped on each other here and there, so I'm not trying to single anybody out. But let her finish, and then I'll let you get in. Now, go ahead.
So men are meant to subjugate women, and men commit 80% of violent crime, and 62% of property crime, and 73% of all arrests in general are male in the U.S. And you're saying that
stupid.
Despite that's the nature of man. However, that black men who commit more crime, which I'm sure the disparity in percentages is not as high as it is between men and women, that black men committing more crime is so bad, and we shouldn't have that. But you're saying that it's okay for men in general to just be committing more crime.
What you're basically saying that by his wait, hold on. You're saying what you're painting basically is that by his words, it's just men being men, and that blacks, by what he's saying, are like the prime example of
no,
because
she's misappropriating what I said. She's misappropriating what I said because what I said was men were more violent than women. That doesn't mean that men are going to be running around murdering each other in the streets like blacks. That is a false equivocation.
80%
and that's bullshit,
of violent
and
crimes are committed by men.
All I said was that men are more violent than women. They're more violent than women by their nature. Is all I said. That doesn't mean you should be that men are going to be running around gunning each other down, firing hundreds of rounds into the middle of the fucking street.
Clearly they are. If it's 80%,
it's blacks. White people do not do that shit, and you fucking know it. That's why you have to keep talking in circles because you know I'm fucking right. And you have to keep bringing up these stupid fucking statistics about men and women because you know I'm right about race. So you have to deflect this stupid shit.
No, you're not right about race. Either that it's normal for people to be more violent, for men to be more violent, or it's not normal and we should get rid of all the men.
All right. We're going to turn on TTS as well. We're going to get some questions.
Yeah, let's do something else. This is fucking retarded, dude.
I'm having fun. But
I know you are. It's like you like talking in circles. It's a cool trick.
Well, we like talking in circles here on the Kill Stream. All right, now let me turn this off. Motley, go ahead.
Motley sent $5. Mindy, if men are biologically more prone to violence, then why do you reject biological racial violence?
I don't reject it. But I think that there's more than biology in this. I think it's very heavily influenced by environment.
All right. Now, let's see. Black Guy Bigot over on Killstream.live /entropy said, black versus white crime statistics conclusion is uncomfortable truth, but blacks commit crimes at nearly 3 times the rate that whites do. Blacks commit 36% of the violent crime in the U.S., even though they are only 13% of the population. I have seen stats to that effect before. I don't have the stat right in front of me though, so I can't say.
If I can respond to that, I'd say
sure, you can. Certainly, yeah, go ahead.
Black people are more likely to be arrested and pulled over, but does that mean that they're necessarily more committing more of that crime? I don't know.
Okay. All right, now let me there's a couple more here.
Sadan Patel T-Series sent $3 attention. The Ralph retort, we have detected serious virus in your computer. Kindly send 1 Bitcoin to our tech support. Warning, only 60 minutes remaining before computer is wiped. Please do needful.
I'll get right on that. Thank you, Sadan.
Night Driving Avengers sent $5. This is such a no-brainer debate, but yet another Wignetsberg can't keep his emotions under control and just gets off track every time she asks a retard question. Bingy bongy chirky larky.
I don't know what that means. All right.
Yeah, hey, I don't. What that guy doesn't understand is Wignatsburg isn't an insult to me. So yeah, whatever, dude. I like to have fucking fun on the internet. I mean, whatever, dude.
Can I ask another
Yeah.
question?
Sure you can. I got some more. We'll turn on TTS back in a minute. I got one more to play. Keep them rolling in. If you want questions, I'll play them. Go ahead.
Right. So John, okay, let's put all the other stuff aside. What is your solution to all this then? Since you're saying that this is like the issue.
Separation, actually.
Separation.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Separate.
Here's the deal, Stardust. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a political, like I'm not some political scientist. I don't know what that means. I just know I don't want to fucking live around these people. And I think it would be great if we could figure out a way to separate, give them a piece of land, give fucking, Mexicans a piece of land, and let whites have our piece of land. You know what I mean? Whatever that means. I don't know.
What if people don't
to be
wanna
honest with
move?
you. But, well, then they're going to have to, right? So, if you're trying to, hold on, if you're trying to try to get me to back off of force, you're not talking to the right guy. If force is necessary, then force is fucking necessary. I don't give a fuck. But this experiment, this American experiment is fucking failing, and we all know it, and we need to do something about it.
Okay, so when you say separation, do you mean within the U.S. and that people have like designated states and stuff like that?
Well, like I said, I don't really know. I'm not a political scientist. I'm not into like geopolitics and how all that shit works. You know what I mean? If I started saying that shit, I would just be talking out of my ass, right? I don't know. If balkanization within the U.S. is the most comfortable way we can do it to get everybody to agree. Because here's the deal. In all honesty, I don't think it's possible to do this thing peacefully. I just don't think it is. But I would love to see that, right? I would love to see everybody just come together and be like, okay, man, hey, this ain't working out. Let's find a way to make this better. We can work together, intercontinentally or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Between, separate states. Like if the black area needs fucking grain, we can send it to them. And if we need fucking cotton, they can send it to us, right? However the fuck that goes.
Good God,
Right?
dude. Why'd you bring cotton? Holy shit. Jeez.
But you know what I mean. Like I said, I don't know how the logistics of that would work, but I know it needs to happen, right? And here's the deal: blacks want it. Black people want it. Here's the deal: anytime a black person gets arrested in this fucking country by a white cop, tried by a white jury, and sentenced by a white judge, no matter how just that sentencing process went, they're always going to see it as an injustice because they were persecuted in their eyes by people outside of their race. And I understand that. Because if I got arrested by some black cop and went in front of an all-black activist jury and then went in front of a black judge and was sentenced, I would feel real fucked up about that. And that's just me being honest. And nobody should have to do that. They shouldn't have to keep up with our customs, right? And we shouldn't have to sacrifice our customs and traditions for them. It's just not fair, right? It's not fair to anybody. And I think the best, most humane solution is just to go our own separate fucking ways, man. Like it was intended to be.
Where would okay. I'm not buying that you don't have a solution in your head because you wouldn't have thought so hard about these statistics and this issue if you didn't have some idea of what you would propose, right? So that's what I'm asking. I think you're not being completely truthful when you're saying that you yourself don't have any solutions that you have in your mind.
I mean, I don't know what you mean by that. I am being truthful.
Why would you be so
I mean, outside of the solutions I just proposed, right, by some sort of separation or balkanization or segregation, outside of those, I mean, those are the solutions. I'm telling you, I don't know how to enact those things. I don't know like what fucking laws have to be ratified and what courts they need to go through. I don't know all that shit. I just know that's what I would like to see: a peaceful separation, a shake of hands, and best of luck to you. What
about mixed people? Where would they go?
Well, that is, honestly, that's a tough question. It is. I'll give you that. It's a tough question because I'm not an asshole, right? I don't want to say, oh, well, fuck them, right? It sucks. That's why miscegenation is such a crime, right? That's why it's such a crime. Have you ever seen some of the videos of these young mixed kids being interviewed about their interracial identity and they break down fucking crying because they never had a sense of belonging to anything, right? Miscegenation is one of the most horrible crimes against nature that you could do, right? So I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, yes, I feel terrible for those people, man, and maybe there will have to be some sort of I'll tell you this: in prison, most of the time the blacks take them. How about that?
Well, I don't know if that's if the struggle of being mixed in America or being neither in America is necessarily an issue with their identity. I think the issue is with the separation and the polarization of these groups, right? People wouldn't feel out of place if people weren't so polarized.
Race is absolutely central to everybody's identity. People notice it at a very, very young age. I actually have a fucking this is anecdotal. I'll give you this. This is anecdotal, and I want you to keep in mind at this time, this was a long fucking time ago, and my son was a little bitty guy. He was like 3 years old, I believe. Maybe a little bit old. Yeah, 3-4 years old. I was not like a racist or whatever. You know what I mean? At this time, I was still running around with knuckleheads and all this shit, right? This is before I ever went to got locked up or any of that. And we're walking through Walmart, and my son looks up at me and his mom, and he goes, "Dad, what's those brown people over there?" Right? Mm-hmm. He immediately noticed that they were different than him, right? This isn't something that he was taught. This isn't something that, was instilled in him, but he immediately noticed these are different. Race is something central to people's identity without being taught at a very, very, very young age. It's something that's noticeably discernible.
You're going to notice like physical differences, obviously, but cultural...
There's genetic and cultural differences as well, and it.
Well, no, cultural... I mean, there are similarities in a lot of culture. Like, I consider myself American over everything else. And I know plenty of people who
I don't even disagree with that.
Well, I mean, we consider ourselves American over everything else, before anything else in our background. I know plenty of people who view it that way, and I think that depending on the area you grow up, I think culture is more influenced by the area that you're from, the area that you grow up in, than anything with your race that you were born with, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Race, culture is downstream from race. Race creates culture, 100%. Your genetics are what create the culture around you, 100%. That's why you didn't see any fucking Nina, Pinta, or Santa Maria come out of fucking Africa, okay? They don't have the genetic components to make that happen. They had no fucking houses over like 2 stories, no animal husbandry. They hadn't even figured out the fucking wheel, right? That is a genetic thing. It's not because they were fucking closer to the equator.
Figured out.
It's a historical fact. When the Europeans got there to the Horn of Africa in like the 14 or 1600s or whatever it is, Africans hadn't discovered the wheel yet. Everybody knows that. It's a common fact.
Okay. I'm not going to address that point, but I still would dispute what you're saying, because you see like Ethiopian people come over, right? Immigrants, and they actually are some of the most educated people in America.
That's because they were fucking educated by Europeans. I mean, what the fuck are you saying here?
Well, you see Asian people come over, and they're very educated too.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Asians. I'm talking about Africans.
Right.
And Ethiopians. I draw no distinction there. When I say Africans, I am drawing a very broad brush. I'm talking about Haitians, Jamaicans, Ethiopians, blacks. Right. I'm saying these Africans and blacks. I'm trying to behave myself. So I'm bouncing around different
black
terminology
people would
here.
consider themselves different from Africans, right?
I bet they fucking would. But they're not.
What would you say?
And I doubt that, but I'll just give you that and tell you they're not any different. I don't think that's true, but I'll give you that and say they're not different. They can think that all they want, but they're not.
Well, black people are mixed a lot of the time. They're black people who have
Oh
a
my
history in
fucking God.
America are very mixed.
Well, black people, yeah, I mean, black people see themselves, you mean different from Africans, people in Africa? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, or
it's
even African
black
immigrants.
American versus, I mean, there's comedy bits. Richard Pryor is a good one. Red Fox also. What was it?
Well, Red Fox is like 75% white, so of course
Well,
he's not gonna fucking identify with Africans.
Africa movement. He said, if they want to send me home, send me back to East St. Louis. I'm not interested in going back to Africa as a shithole over there, basically, was the joke he was making.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go back to Africa. But anyway, okay, go ahead, Stardust. Continue what you're doing. I'm going to turn the super chats back on here in a minute. If anybody wants to call in, I'll do that too, and I'll throw out the link, and we can go ahead and go from there.
Okay. I guess the thing is, you were saying earlier that if people don't want to be segregated, that you would not be against like forcing them to be segregated.
If I had state power, yeah.
What do you mean
Sure.
by that, though? Well, like, how would you force them to be segregated?
I mean, however I had to.
Right, like, but specifically. Let's say there's, like,
So here's the
family
deal,
in a
Stardust.
home.
You're not going to get me to, like, start talking about violent shit so I get myself, like, jammed up and get Rouse Chandler in trouble. You know what I mean by using state power and doing whatever I have to. Yes, you do. Putting them in cattle cars. Does that make you feel better? Putting them in fucking cattle cars and shipping them the fuck out of here. Is that what you're looking for? Because I'll give it to you.
Well, earlier you said that I'm not. Earlier you said that you're not the type of person to back down from saying explicitly what they think, and now you're saying that you are the type to back down from saying explicitly what you think. So
When did I say that? When did I say I'm trying to back down? I just said if that's what you want to hear, I'll give it to you.
Okay, so let's.
I don't
say there's
understand.
Family.
You're trying to hit me up like I'm being dishonest. I just said if what you want to hear is that I will round them up and put them into cattle cars and ship them out. I mean, what are you trying to do here? You're trying to say that I'm being dishonest, and that's not true. You're being very dishonest in doing that.
You're not even fucking paying attention to what you're saying. Don't say shit like that on my show. Now, you're back up, your volume's back up, and they can hear you. I couldn't hear anything you said for the last 10 seconds. Now go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Somebody say something. But we're not gonna have.
Well, I just don't know, Ralph. I wasn't trying to be like edgy. I just don't know what she wants. Right? She's like, well, what would you do specifically?
Give it to her. Just stop saying shit like that. That's what I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? Like,
I had a list of questions here. I'm just.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just pulling that up right now. Do you think you could ever be like swayed away from your politics as they are right now?
doubtful.
What do you
No,
think it
actually,
would
I
take?
know I couldn't be.
Okay. Well, he seems pretty calm. He doesn't seem like. I don't think you're gonna sway him.
No, I don't think I'm gonna sway him. I would ask, what would it take if you were going to be swayed by anything to be swayed away from your politics as they are right now?
Like an 80% reduction in crime and degeneracy laws.
Degeneracy laws.
80% reduction in crime. You know what? I'd like to see that too.
An 80% reduction in crime. You know what actually would lead to that is getting rid of men, right?
Oh my fucking God.
Men commit 80% of crime. Violent crime.
I mean, she's right about that. They do a lot of violence. Not me,
It's
of course.
retarded.
I'm an angel. All right. Now here's a super chat from Quebec. And it says the U.S. is the first white nationalist nation. If only we kept to the original Constitution, the Civil War was the end of the Republic. That's what he said there. That's kind of not really off topic, I guess. Maybe a little. Any thoughts on that? I want to toss that out here. I've got another one over on entropy as well. Like, I don't know if you.
I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit. Can you repeat the?
It was this. The U.S. is the first white nationalist nation. If only we kept to the original Constitution, the Civil War was the end of the Republic.
So this person is
100%.
proposing that we keep slaves instead?
Well, I mean, Those were legal under the original Constitution. That's true.
It sounds a little fucked up to me, but I don't know.
Let's see. I mean, he did say stick to the original document, so
Ugh,
that's a fair
jeez.
interpretation, I guess. Now that you mentioned it, I didn't have that in my mind, but yeah, you're right. Okay. No, Black Guy Bigot says, I don't like racist, but I hate feminazis more, is what he said. My enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's a true gamer game.
If I can respond to that, I mean, I don't actually believe in,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I don't actually believe in getting rid of men. I'm just saying, if you're looking for an 80% reduction in violent crime, that's the way to do it. Men do commit 80% of violent crime. But, I mean, no, I'm not about getting rid of men, even if they do commit 80% of violent crime. I just think that, maybe we find other ways to reduce that. So.
Well, this is not really on topic, but what would be a way?
I don't know. We'd have to analyze why that's happening. We'd have to figure that out. I don't think it's all nature.
Well, no,
I'll give you 80-20. 80% nature, 20% nurture.
You really like the 80 number, huh?
The 80. Wait, does 80 mean something I don't know? Hold on. I know the 80. I know some of them.
No, it's a couple off, huh?
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know. All right, now let's see. I see Al over on Cash App says, "R.I.P. Colin Flaherty." You know what? I said something about that on Twitter while you guys were talking. I just saw it during the show, and he was a guest on the Kill Stream. I want to say 2020. I believe it was 2020 summer of, if I recall correctly. And I wanted to have him back, and we actually had some back and forth on Twitter about having him back, and he threw his name in the hat a couple of times for some things. And when you do this job, I can't handle it all. A lot of times it's me booking it, a couple other people chiming in here or there. Almost always it's me, though, responsible for all this shit. And so I just didn't hit him back up and didn't get him back on, which is my fault. I didn't leave him hanging or anything, but I'd had some ideas and just didn't follow up on it. And yeah, he passed away of cancer. VDare put out an article earlier today. And so I was thinking tomorrow, maybe after
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. Really nice guy. Wrote, I'm a fan of his. I liked him. I'll just put it that way.
I think Stardust should read his book.
Well,
he really should.
I'm a moderator in debate, so I won't go into all that. But I like the guy, and yeah, he did write about some of the
what I'm talking about.
Right, some of the stuff we're talking about tonight. And so anyway, very nice guy, very nice to me. Tomorrow I'm thinking, of course, we got a debate at 11 a.m. Eastern, Sticks versus Ramsey Paul here on morality, actually. Highbrow discussion tomorrow, 11 a.m. After that, I figure we'll roll into regular Tequila Sunrise maybe, do some stuff there. And then after, I'm thinking I'm going to replay the Colin Flaherty episode probably tomorrow before the regular Kill Stream tomorrow night with Vito coming on tomorrow night. So that's the schedule, kind of how we did the January 6th thing the other day, replayed that episode. We'll replay that one if the time lines up, which it should, after the Tequila Sunrise tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. You'll have stuff all day, and definitely RIP Colin Flaherty. Really nice guy. All right, now super chat just came in actually. Jenny WTNB says, "I didn't know they were letting no talent immigrant women on to debate now. There's a market for that." That wasn't very nice that Jenny said there, but
that's okay. I'm good with it.
now she's good with it. Okay, good. Now let's see.
I'm also not an immigrant. I was born here, but yeah.
All right. Now, I thought you probably were. All right. Now let's see. There we go. John Bolton, what's up?
John Bolton sent $5. The reason your country have gone to shit, bro, is because you have abandoned the Jeffersonian spirit. You're all gone in the destructive Hamiltonian Lincolnite way. Your government and the corruption want you at each other's throats. Heal the divide.
All right. Now, wait. Hold on. Wait. What? Anything on that? Okay. Shout out John Bolton, the legend. All right, let's see. I think this one played earlier, but I'm not sure.
Paramedics sent $3. Rip Colin Flaherty round. I no good. No good. I'm interested in segregation.
Vigistiku sent $3. Many African migrants to the US are educated and intelligent because the immigration process naturally selects for this strata. They are in the top 5% of their bell curve. Intelligent Africans exist, but we are talking about groups and averages here.
Kosher you sent $3. Stardust, can you sprinkle some pixie dust aka take a massive street shit on the crime statistic documents you referenced earlier? Street shit, bullshit. You have it all.
Nice.
No, it's not.
Vigistiku sent $3. This woman's attempted gotcha about men is utterly asinine, she knows it. Blacks accounted for 56% of all homicide convictions in 2019. You can't escape this reality, and the pattern of black crime persists regardless of their socioeconomic status.
Also not true.
Night Driving Avenger
I'll
sent
let you know.
$5. John Fashcroft is a Benjot Chut Kapakora and Stardust is a Badirchand Kutiyar.
I don't know what that means, but
Mark Camp sent $3. Look at this girl's face really closely. Doesn't it resemble a steaming pile of
I
melting
don't.
polo?
That was like some Hindu voodoo.
Ah,
Motley sent $3. Mindy. There is also the
don't.
issue of mob violence, which is a black thing that black women partake in as well.
Still, women are way less violent. But
all right, now let's see. The Bolton one came up, and I think there was one on killstream.live/tip that didn't play last night. There we go, Bolton.
John Bolton sent $5. North Africans Berbers were actually pretty advanced civilization and they helped Europeans out during the Dark Ages, and the Phoenicians were navigating the seas when Europeans were still cavemen. Maybe you should study a bit more.
Now, let's see.
They had like a fucking canoe, dude. That wasn't a fucking sail. But get the fuck out of here, man.
All right, let's see. I think we got them all. Just making sure here. Oh, there was one from last night. So let me turn this on. I don't have that up for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, come on, load up. Load up, because I missed this one last night. I want to make sure I got it on today. Thank you, Tony Castle.
Congrats, Ralph. We were praying for you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. That came in right at the end of the show last night. Thank you so much. Of course, the Free Ralph Festival called that for a reason, and I appreciate all the well wishes I've had this whole time. A lot of support from everybody, from all different sectors, all different personalities and politics and everything. So much appreciated on that. And the show has been going on, and I've been appreciating that too. Thank you for the support there. All right, now let's take some callers, I guess, if we have any. What the fuck? Where are the callers, dude? Man, they're falling down the job, dude. This is like all-time levels of embarrassment right here. How do we not have callers in here right now? Like right this instant. There should be a full fucking... Why do we even have callers? If I can't just point to the call room and there should just be fucking hanging off the rafters people in there. That's how it should be. Unbelievable.
So there was a statistic or a poll that went on with Southern Republicans to secede from the United States. Let's say that society did get so bad that this secession, I guess, thing was taken more seriously. And I guess the question would be, if that was done, what do both parties or what do both these debaters have to say that if it did happen, what would their solution be? Like, which parts of the states would be what? Would there be a west side and east side, a north side and the south side? Would there be four sides?
I mean, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I go first, Stardust?
no, I don't mind.
So like I said earlier, I'm no fucking political scientist. I'm no geopolitical guy or anything like that. But it kind of seems to me that like America in large part is already fairly fucking segregated. I mean, there may be a few things we have to work out, but I mean, Mexicans have basically taken back the Southwest. They have Aztlan now. I don't know if you guys know what Aztlan is, but if you look it up, it's this Southwest kingdom of Mexico that they fantasize about. They basically have taken that. So we could just give that to them. And I know people are going to spurg about this because I'm not giving up land, but we're talking about a hypothetical situation where this does happen. So hear me out. We give them what they already have. We give fucking blacks the fucking where they're at, the South. right? And we take probably, you know, the Pacific Northwest or the Northeast, like New Hampshire and places like that. I mean, I don't know, but for in large part, the country's fairly segregated already.
Go ahead, caller. Or let Stardust weigh in first. Go ahead, Stardust.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can't really secede unless you do so illegally, right? There's no way to secede unless you're.
Go ahead. I'll replay
Yeah,
that.
it's just not something you can do legally. So, I wouldn't recommend it. Plus, we're already, you know, the United States of America. So, just move to a different state or something, bro.
All right. Now, let's see. Go ahead, caller. Finish up your thoughts, or you know, if you have any follow up on that. Sure. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you calling it. Okay. That's an interesting question. I was waiting on to see if you had more. Okay, but good stuff. All right, now. Wait. Oh, wait, that one already played.
Vigastiku sent.
It was this one that you wanted to play. Go ahead.
Vigastiku sent $3 Stardust. You said not true. You are ignorant. Go look up the data from Stanford economist Raj Chetty, who found that the sons of black families from the top 1% had the same chance of being incarcerated as the sons of white families earning $36,000.
She don't gotta go look it up. She knows it's true.
John
She knows all this stuff is true.
Don't forget your 51st state, Israel. Haha.
Your 51st state, Israel. Oh, wow. What do you say? What were you trying to say there, Bolton? Since she's denying reality, she's just not admitting it's true. Is that what you're saying? Hello, sir.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, no, she does know. That's what I know. So this is her bit. I went and looked at her YouTube before we came on. Right, I wasn't able to watch a lot of her stuff, right? But this is her bit. She just popped up like 6-8 months ago doing this, right? So this is her thing, is to argue. So she's not being honest when she argues. She's just trying to put on a good show, and that's cool. I have fun, but she knows everything I'm saying is true. She knows that everybody
disagree
does.
with everything that you're saying. But
well, because you have to. It's part of the show.
No, it's not part of the show. It's because I honestly argue from positions that I believe in. I'm sorry that you can't fathom that, but that is what it is.
Cool story.
Cool.
So you think she's just putting on and like doesn't really believe what she's saying?
100%.
No, wait. Why do you say that though?
Because you could just tell in the way she argues. She tries to just do deconstructive shit. She doesn't have an honest way of arguing. She talks circularly. And she's and like the smirk on her face half the time. You can tell it's just dishonest.
You get so upset.
What I mean?
The reason why I'm smiling is because I ask you questions and you get upset.
I'm sorry. This is something that most people don't understand about me because you guys don't watch my show. And fair enough, I don't expect you to, but I'm not upset. This is just me. You can go watch any of my shows. I can be talking about anything. I'm just like accentuated when I talk. You can go watch any one of my shows, and I speak just like this. You can ask anybody that's in the chat right now that watches my shows, and they'll tell you. I'm not mad right now. This is just how I talk. I'm a wigger.
Okay. That's okay. I'm weird too. But I can assure you that I'm arguing from what I honestly believe. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard your pattern of speech before. I'm from West Memphis, Arkansas, so yeah,
yeah, we ain't far from each other, bro.
Yeah, I know that's pattern of speech. You didn't fool me. I still speak. No. All right, now let's see. Actually, I had
I hear that there's some people asking where their foreskin is in the chat.
Well, I have mine still right here, but I don't know what they're asking about there. I'm not sure. Well, we've had that debate on the show before, so
really,
not really a spoiler alert. Yeah, I made that joke before. Yeah, we had a circumcision debate. That was many years ago, actually.
I thought you were gonna just end it at circumcision. Like, damn, live on the show. That's wild.
Oh no, that would be a new frontier, actually. Not the truck that I have sitting out there, an actual new frontier. If we did that, because. No, we won't do that. I don't actually think circumcision. That's not cool.
I don't think you should do that live on air if you're gonna do. I don't know.
What do you think about circumcision? You brought it up.
I'm just going to trust men on that issue. And the
You don't
consensus.
trust them on anything else that we've been talking about tonight. Why would you trust them on circumcision?
Look, when I talk about deporting the men, I'm joking about it. But but when it comes to like foreskin, I feel like that's a man's issue, and I really don't know what it's like. But from what I've heard from people, they really don't like not having one. So you know what? I'm gonna side with them on that.
Yeah, and again, I have no problem if you want to get circumcised later on. I don't think it's fair to just circumcise a baby against their will. You can always get it later on too. All right, it's not something that's you're stopped from getting. Yeah, I think that's a fair.
Yeah,
thing.
I knew a guy who got it later on. It's really weird that he told me about it, but yeah. Really didn't want to know it, but.
All right, now, all right, let's see. Oh, Justin KG says, is the Vince versus Mr. Girl thing still tonight at 10? It was supposed to be at 10. Unfortunately, it's not because it's going to be Friday at 10 now because Vince had a personal commitment, nothing nefarious or anything, just perfectly reasonable. And he's a straight shooter. He ain't bullshitting. And so we had to move it to Friday night, which probably be a good one, I think, on a Friday night. Mr. Girl seems to get people riled. We actually watched your interview with Mr. Girl, a good piece of it from Tequila. Okay. What did you? And I know the guy. Obviously, he's been on the show.
I don't know what part you've seen. So I think he values truth over everything. And I think a lot of his views are formed and influenced by his life experiences.
Yeah, well, the part we saw was pretty. I think I'm trying to remember what he said. He was talking about his mother wanted to fuck him.
The top country by white population is Uruguay at 92%. When does Fash think it will be nicer than the U.S. and when is he planning on moving?
That was for you directly, Fashcroft.
Yeah, it's a sad
story.
What
What is it?
When are you going to move to Uruguay? And I'll ask you about the Mr. Girl thing. I'll come back to that in a second. He said, when you move to Uruguay, they're white down there. Why aren't you going? I don't know. That's what the citizen said.
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I didn't know that Uruguay is white, and I question that. They're probably like Castillo or something. I don't think they're white. I think they may have a high. Yes, I am.
What type of European?
Yes. I'm a Euro mutt. I am mostly Scottish and English, mostly.
Okay.
But I would assume that they have high white admixture down in Uruguay, but I would argue that they're probably not white, right? Like people will say things like, oh, like the Mexican hierarchy in Mexico is white, but they're not really white. They're Castizo, right? They're like 75% white. You know what I mean? And I mean, I guess getting into those. Huh? Because of my family lineage, and I'm not going to get into that. You can fucking forget about it. I'm not going to tell you who my relatives and shit are, but I have a very, very detailed family lineage. I know who my relatives are.
That's good that you know all that. You know who would like to know all that? Black people in America. Be really nice.
I don't care.
Okay.
That doesn't keep you up at night. I didn't think that did, Fashcroft.
All right. I'm not losing any fucking sleep over that, I promise.
All right. Now, let me see. All right, now let me see. I got a thing here, I believe.
John Bolton sent $3. The only person here that I enjoyed during this debate was the Southern gentleman, Mr. Ralph. Fuck these Yankees.
Well, I don't know if I call Fashcroft a Yankee. I don't think that's true.
They got from Oklahoma.
Yeah. But thank you, Bolton. Much appreciated, sir. I always enjoy you as well. All right. Mark Humph.
Mark Camp sent $3. Why does Stardust face look so dysmorphic like it's melting? And the retarded Wignet I agree with on almost every issue sounds like a legit wigger rapper with impulse control issues.
Thank you.
Have you ever, now this is the I think this is a fair question. You mentioned, your tendencies, your history or whatever. And we joked about it. Have you ever cut a rap record?
No, but I want to so bad. I want
Wow.
to so fucking
You really
bad.
like black culture, huh?
Oh yeah.
So you think you
Racism
can
canceled. Yeah, racism fucking canceled
I'm
because
not
I want to
saying
make a
that.
parody
I'm just
fucking
saying,
record. Get
I'm
the
just
fuck out of
saying
here.
you really like black culture, but you don't want black people around you. It's really interesting.
No, I have colors.
Hey, I really like Bushido too. That doesn't mean I want to live in fucking Japan, woman. It's okay to like think a culture is quirky or funny or cool from afar, right? Get out of here.
All right.
All right. Now, let's see. We do have more callers, I think. I called them out. Now they're here. Dalton Claude Felter, go ahead, sir. You're on the kill stream.
Hey, it's good to be here, man. I guess I want to start off with saying, Cozy's awesome because I didn't really know who you were until you were here, and it's just really cool because I really enjoy your show and I watch it pretty consistently. So,
well, thank you for saying that. Very kind of you to say. And I'd seen you on Twitter a little bit before, but mostly seen you from Cozy too after.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Cozy. I'm a fan of myself.
Yeah, man. Well, the other thing, after listening to this quite a bit, the vibe that I'm getting, because I've seen this bitch on here a few times, right? The Indian bitch.
Just one time other than this.
Just one other than this? Okay, then yeah, that's what I'm remembering. So, yeah, I feel like every time you get presented with like facts and information that, disagree with your views, you just ignore them and you move on. You don't really address anything that people are saying.
What did I not address?
And it shows it's very
what specifically did I not address?
You are a woman, because you'll so quickly just move off of stuff and try.
I'm asking specifically, what did I not address?
There was a super chat earlier that provided a few stats and some numbers, and you just moved past it like it was nothing. I mean, you said, well, that's not true. That's not true. Like, that's a dumb bitch move.
So if it's what I remember, it was this assertion that rich black people commit more crimes than poor white people, and I've heard that thoroughly debunked several times, so I can't off the top of my head do it right now. But yeah, it by everything that I've read, it seems to not be true. So.
All right, well, that's just one example out of many that I've personally.
If you have any others, I would be glad to address them.
Yeah, hang on. No, I got you, bitch. Let me pull out my notepad. I've been keeping notes. No, I haven't been keeping notes. I don't know every fucking point.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're full of shit then.
I'm full of poo, that's for sure. I definitely.
Hope you find some laxatives, my dude.
I don't need laxatives. I just poo constantly.
Oh, damn, that's rough. That's a really rough life.
No, it's awesome. You wouldn't understand, once again, though. You're a woman.
Okay.
A dumb bitch woman.
You got me.
And that's the thing. You notice it every time you're debating. Anytime you're debating a woman, it is so easy to tell, dude. It is so fucking easy to tell because you slither by, you just sneak, you don't really address anything.
You calling me a snake?
Oh yeah, you're a snake. You're a snake and you're a bitch.
Okay. Proudly we'll accept that.
Yeah, and you should know about the whole shit pill.
Now wait, you're gonna have to explain that. Go ahead and tell them what that is, the audience.
Well, it's Indians poo in the streets and like bathe in their own feces.
Okay. All right. I've heard that one before. Nothing that I haven't heard before.
Yeah, but is that true?
Really poor people in India who live in shanty towns? Sure, yeah.
I just recently read an article because I had this debate with someone earlier about Indians pooing in the streets.
Wait, you had a debate on that?
Yeah, and I think there's like, I can't remember the last number I read, but it was something around like 2 million.
Sure, India is a very large country, and there are a lot of poor people there, and there's a lot of people who live in shanty towns.
That's a lot of people pooing in the streets, though.
Well, what do you think homeless people do?
Could you imagine? I mean, like, I know we have places like LA where there's a lot of poo in the streets, but those are also mostly people of
do
a
you
certain...
think people in a shanty town have a home, really? Do they have access to plumbing?
In the streets?
Like, people who live in a shanty town, like, literally live in, like, it's like things that are, like, put together, basically, out of
I wouldn't
scraps.
I would not poo in the streets, though.
Well, again, I'm saying you're talking about homeless people in America who shit in the street. That's generally what the issue is in
and
India.
they're what?
So
And they're what? What demographic are these people pooing in the streets?
in America,
Yeah.
they're homeless people. They're poor people who don't have access to plumbing.
I didn't say their socioeconomic status. Yeah, obviously they're poor.
I don't know. I don't know all the statistics on homeless people.
All right, well, see, there's another one you can just dodge and get out of. I mean, I
Well,
don't know.
if you know it, then you should tell me.
I don't know. I don't really care that much.
Oh, you don't know, so you're just pulling shit out of your ass again, huh? You're full of shit.
Yeah, I
You're
already said
truly
that.
full of shit. Really.
Of course I'm pulling shit out of my ass.
You are. You're so full of shit. You shouldn't be in this call if you can't back up your shit with actual statistics, dude.
Get the fuck out of here. Why would I want to have an actual debate with a woman? That makes
I mean,
no
you're
sense.
the one who's coming into this call voluntarily. Sounds like you actually want to talk to me.
I'm
I'm very flattered. I'm very flattered, but I'm not
I
interested. I'm not
think it's
interested.
cool.
Thank you, though.
Oh, see, this is women. This is women for you, chat. Anyway.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
This
you calling
is men
in.
for you, chat. This is men.
We'll have to get you back on sometime.
Based men. Anyway,
Based
yeah,
men
man,
with
it's
no
interesting
stats.
on
No
the
stats behind them. Just making assertions, making
Man.
assumptions.
I like what I see. Good job on your streams, man. I see you taking off, man. I think
Thanks,
the sky's
King.
the limit there. Thank you, man.
He's fun. I liked him.
Yeah, I knew you two would get along. All right, now.
I came in here with, like, I thought some fair ideas, but then Dalton, that asshole, comes in here and fucking steals my thunder, essentially. Kidding. But,
Is Dalton the
I
one
really
I just
don't know where
spoke
else
to?
to go other than to, like, I don't know, maybe retread the same ground, because, I mean, you were just essentially antagonizing, like, John the whole time. Like, I mean, like, you'd bring up a couple points, and then when he would counter you, I mean, you would just, like, you just scurry off onto some fucking, you know,
I don't
just
think
some
I did.
total non-starter.
What did I
was
scurry
so
off on?
confused.
I'll address
I was confused. I felt for John. I was as confused as fucking he was. So
Sure. So tell me what you were confused
consider what
about.
just happened here a victory for you? I'm curious. Like what?
Well, no. What I'm asking is what were you confused about?
Oh fucking hell! I mean, you know, I might have to go rewind a bit, like a lot of it. I mean, okay, well, like, are you saying like what you were saying? Was I confused by that? Because the answer is no. I was confused more so by like how you were going about it, and just
what part about it were you? What part about it were? If you can give me specifically, because then that's something I can clarify, right?
Yeah, let me go ahead and go through my notes real quick. No, I can't.
You had me fooled for having a
I
second.
love the notes bit. That's the second guy who's done the notes bit. I love it.
Yeah, but these guys keep bringing up that they're like confused about something, and then they can't give me what specifically they're confused about.
I can tell you mostly probably what they're confused about was your deflection away from minority crime into fucking male shit.
Well, I'm bringing up male stuff because the disparity between different races and their crime committing rates is less than that of the disparity between men and women. So if you really want to look at like who commits the most crime overall, especially violent crime, again, men commit 80% of violent crime. So if you want, if you're so concerned about this difference in racial statistics, I don't think you should be. I think you should be more concerned about this difference in gender statistics as far as committing crime, because that's far more different.
Sorry, real quick. I'm just more concerned with how fucking subversive you are. Like that's so disingenuous.
How is that disingenuous? You're bringing up statistics on crime committed, and I'm bringing up statistics on crime committed as well.
It's all right, but no,
wait. Are you listening? Did you hear what I said?
Wait a second, chill.
I think you're just.
Relax.
I think you're just.
I'm just saying.
No, see, you're being. You're
a
saying I'm
woman.
being subversive, and you're not explaining
Ladies,
how.
gentlemen, hold on. One at a time, please.
How am I being subversive?
How are you? John is bringing up great great points, bringing up studies, just laying facts
Sure.
right on your face.
What studies has he brought up?
Get rid of men.
What studies has he brought up?
Real
That's what I'd
productive
like to know.
totally
What studies has he
non-starter
brought up?
ones. Yeah, that was actually a thank you. That was actually a primo example of what I was saying earlier. Is just like you just
I actually did quote from two
nonsense while
studies.
at the same time
Okay,
just
what
pissing everybody
studies?
off. So, but then again, you're a woman, so you know.
What studies?
The study on ghost DNA in West Africans and the excess of MAOA gene, which is the warrior gene in African males, which makes them clinically and scientifically prone to violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't read enough on that to really judge it.
Glad you broke your call in, Jerry.
I would still assert.
Go ahead, Stardust.
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
I haven't looked enough into that to really make a judgment on that, but I would still say that it's more significant to me that men are committing 80% of violent crime than it is to be bringing race into this, because regardless of race, it's still men overwhelmingly who commit crime.
All right.
That's dumb.
Now.
You're dumb.
All right, that was, you know what? That was the natural retort, I have to say. Retort is right there in my online moniker. I call it how I see it. All right, go ahead. Tony Castle, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. By the way, this has been the quirkiest debate I think I've ever done, actually.
You're welcome, Ralph.
Yeah. I am too, but it's been crazy, actually. But go ahead. In a good way, in a good way. In a good way. We didn't really know what we were talking about. Yes, really. Usually, now, honestly, I told her this, and this is not a secret, I don't think, if you watch this show. I usually set up the debates like personality versus personality without even thinking of a topic, usually, unless something is like burning, and then it's like, okay, obviously you do that. But usually it's like, how would these two, and then I'll try to figure out a topic after. And so I kind of had these two pegged for a debate, but I was like, abortion? I even told him, he's like, yeah, I'll argue abortion. I mean, he is pro-life, but it's like, okay. And she's pro-choice, but it's like, okay, well, we're just kind of shoehorning that in. I think this is better rather than just, okay, argue about Margaret Sanger said this in 1923 or whatever. Anyway, I like this. Go ahead, caller. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tony Castle, by the way, I got your super chat in, the one that came in at the very end last night at the beginning of tonight's show. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for the good.
Of course,
Tony.
I wanted to address this, non-white crime versus male versus female crime. The issue that men are perpetrating 80% of the crime, and
crime.
I guess that's higher of that's a higher rate at which just the differences between the two colors. There's a couple things. One, black females commit more crime at a higher rate, not overall numbers, but at a higher rate per capita than white men do, for one. And two, they're fundamentally not, it's comparing apples to oranges, because you cannot have a society without men. You can have a society without blacks and street shitters.
We can have a society without men. It's called, what's it called? It's called sperm banks.
Oh yeah, and
get the fuck out of here.
It can run itself for how long on sperm banks? And where would you get the
long time?
Freeze up
we
to
can
carry.
just have man island and woman island. How about that?
Okay. So that's your argument.
See, Tony, this is why I didn't engage this shit, Tony, right here.
I'm sorry?
No, I just told him, he said that's why he doesn't engage this.
That's why I don't engage with this retarded shit, because it's just circular. She doesn't mean any of this shit. She's just trying to trip you up. That's why I just said it's retarded and don't
I'm just
engage.
saying I'm following your logic, right? And if you're so worried about it, then
crime rates in this country, so you have to deflect onto, oh well, it's not just that. It's these men. We can have some fantasy island with sperm banks, and we don't need any.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm just following the logic that he has about getting rid of certain people. And I'm saying we can get rid of certain people and have an even better effect. So
it's fine, but you can't address that argument seriously. You have to joke.
Well, I mean, look, I try to, but it seems like he's not getting it. And so, when people don't get it.
That you're trying, but you're failing.
I don't think so, dude. But
Yeah, no, we all understand what you're trying to do. We're just telling you it's retarded.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You got me. I'm retarded. You got me.
Well, you're welcome. I might call you guys.
Thank you,
Have a
Tony.
good
It's
night.
good to hear from you, man.
Take care, Tony.
Thank you.
Later.
All right, Tony. This is great, brother. All right. Sexual Tyrannosaurus. I heard myself there, but you're on the air now, so turn me on.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hey, how's it going? I had a question for Stardust. Would you call New Delhi a shantytown?
No, not New Delhi itself. It's actually one of the more developed areas in India. Yeah, but there are shanty towns
Would
within.
you call Mumbai a shantytown?
Now wait,
No,
you got
wait a minute. Let me finish. Within any of these cities, the entirety of a city is not a shanty town, but there are shanty towns within those cities. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're saying there's like poor parts in these cities?
There are parts in these cities where people are homeless and making homes out of whatever they can.
And when was the last time you've been to India?
It's been a while. But I used to go every summer.
Okay. Well, I've been to India and I spent a lot of time in India, and I'll say that I've seen people shitting and pissing and throwing garbage in the river you pray to, everywhere. There's no place that's clean of this, and I just think a lot of your arguments are dishonest.
Okay, well, I'm glad that your anecdotal experience is trumping anything that we know about how poor people have access to indoor plumbing and things like that. And I would love for you to go and tell that to all the homeless people in America, too.
It's not just homeless people. It's literally the regular people. Indian people can't even use a Western toilet. They'll literally squat on the toilet. What you're saying is what I mean by disingenuous is that you make these arguments and you're constantly saying it's the poor people. No, it's everybody. It's just
not
a dirty.
Everybody.
Wait, do they squat on? I've not heard the squatting on the toilet.
Yeah, the squatting on the toilet is they do have special toilets.
They can't even flush a toilet. They have to use
flush.
what they do in India is
No, let her talk,
toilet.
sir. Hold on. I'm interested in what you guys say, but I just want to hear what she was trying to rebut. You're coming in with some heavy stuff. Let's let her talk. We have to be fair. Now, go ahead. Now, what do you say?
So this dude is, I'm glad this dude has all the anecdotal experience in the world, but I would say that, sure, there are toilets that are specifically designed to have the ability to either sit or squat on them. I think that's just a special design that they have on some of their toilets. However...
hold on.
No, actually, it's real. It's real. They do have that.
It's just a special design, guys. Don't worry about it.
They do. They do. They have the little sides on the bowl.
But I guess what they're saying is, why would you want to squat though?
There's only one reason.
Squatting is actually your way to use the bathroom, to be honest. But Americans sit in chairs. Your whole life, when you're a kid, you sit in a chair, so you just can't do it. But anyways, these savages, what they do is
wait, you're saying it's better, but they're savages for doing it?
A ceramic hole in the ground.
It's better for you, but they're savages for doing it. Is that what you just said?
You were joking, surely, about squatting being the superior method. It's not. I would much rather sit. Are you kidding me?
No, it's actually better.
You're a psychopath.
Oh my God, this dude is contradicting himself.
It's just been.
He's contradicting himself. Holy shit, dude.
Shit. Well, let him finish. You know what? Let him finish.
Letting me finish.
Let him finish. You're right. I cut him off. You're right. You're right. You're right. Go ahead.
Okay. Hold up. So all I'm saying is that it doesn't matter which way is superior. I'm just saying.
No, it does now.
It does.
I went all over this place, right? And this is one of the countries I always wanted to visit, and it is the biggest hellhole on earth. I've been all over the place. And the interesting thing about India is not only their issue with, you want to say poverty, but the whole place is dirty. I've saw wealthy people, they all throw trash on the ground. They have no respect for their country. They don't pay tax. They have major issues. But the one thing I noticed the most, and this is why I called in, is that you're not honest about your own culture, which has some serious problems with, let's say, homosexuality. It's illegal, but a lot of the men practice homosexuality because they're in repressed marriages.
What do you think my culture is?
What do I think culture is?
What do you think my culture is? What do you think my culture is?
Satanic?
What
the
you said you were from India, correct?
I was born and raised in America. I have said on the show before, I am American first.
Well, okay, but every time somebody talks about India, you're like constantly lying about it.
I'm not talking about no. Whenever somebody brings up me as a person and says your people shit in the streets, I will correct them. It's not just anybody who shits in the street, and this is in America too. It's homeless people. It's people who are very poor.
Man, it's a dishonest argument. It's less.
You're the one who's being dishonest. You said in the same exact sentence, you said squatting is better for you, but these savages are squatting. Can you explain that to me? Can you explain that to me?
He's still, man, wait. Hold on. Wait, I was saying, now listen. The debate about the squatting, it was still over an actual toilet, right? It wasn't about shit.
So that's why I said.
So, and by the way, Adam Green came in the chat while this. Hold on, wait. Hold on, don't talk on me, please, sir, don't talk on me, please, sir, please stop.
Okay.
And I'll let you talk, but don't talk over me because I'm a host.
I think there's a lag. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. It probably is a lag. Okay, I'll stop being a dick then. Okay, you're right. There is a lag. There's a difference though, and by the way, while we were talking about this, Adam Green came in chat. I don't know if he's fucking with me or not. And said he was on the show last night. He's going to be on here January 19th debating classical theists. He said he has a squatty potty. This can't be.
Yeah, this is based. Great guess, by the way. But yeah, squatting is superior. But that wasn't my point.
I know, but
my God, this dude is contradicting himself.
I understand the delineation, right? He's saying squatting outside and shitting in the street is different between squatting over a toilet.
Well, he's talking about over a toilet.
Yeah, I'm literally talking about how these folks, they can't assimilate at all. They
can.
It's an insane place.
Midwife, that's my fiance. They were talking to her at the party parties today. The midwife. We got to stamp this shit out, ladies and gentlemen. What in the fuck is this? Sorry.
This dude is something. I like this guy. He's funny.
You latch onto one thing. I literally called in because you're constantly defending Indian culture. And you know what?
I'm not constantly defending Indian culture. When people bring up street shitting to me, which is like the only thing that people like to throw at me for some reason, that's of course what I'm going to say.
Anybody, they don't respect women, and it's funny to me that you're defending these people because they're terrible.
Oh my God. Okay, dude, the only thing that people seem to throw at me, which is super unoriginal at this point, is street shitting. That's the only thing that people seem to throw at me. They don't throw, it's either you're a dumb bitch or you're a street shitter. So what do you think I'm going to say in response to that? I'm going to correct them. I'm not correcting people on the entirety of my, excuse me, I'm speaking. Excuse me, I am speaking. Can you let me finish? I let you finish. Can you let me finish?
My country.
Yeah, I let you finish. I let you finish. Will you let me finish?
No.
Okay, fine. Get the fuck out, dude.
No, I'm not.
No, wait. Finish up. We will let her finish. I was typing over here and arguing. Some idiot in chat wrote a fucking novel about how he was too.
I wanted to point out one more thing.
I would like to finish what I was saying. I would like to finish what I was saying. Okay,
yes, let her finish.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is that.
Give a fuck. Just let her speak. I don't care.
I would like to finish.
Go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying, this dude is saying.
I'm talking.
Sir, I'll have to mute you if you don't.
Okay. Sorry, I'll stop.
Go ahead.
Can we move on to somebody else because this dude is wasting our time?
No, we're gonna finish the call. Go ahead, finish what you're gonna say, and then I'm gonna.
No, sir. Have you ever noticed when you went to India, all the men?
Thank you. Now go ahead, finish your point.
All right. What I was saying is that whenever I'm on one of these shows, whether it's here or elsewhere, the first things that people throw at me are either you're a dumb bitch, you're a woman, or like you're a street shitter, your people shit in streets, or your ancestors shit in streets. What am I supposed to say to that? Of course I'm going to correct people on it. Like, people who are poor in any country are going to shit on the street. And yes, there are a lot of people who are poor in India. So yeah, of course I'm going to say something on that. But is the entirety of that culture my culture? No. I was born and raised in America. I am American first. I will always be American first.
It is not just the porcelain
wait,
dogs
hold on.
in
Somebody
India.
clip that, please.
Most middle-class Indians do it too.
All right.
I don't know. I highly doubt that. Yeah, but I don't know. I would have to look up more on that. But do I think that there are problems in other countries? Absolutely. Would I want to live in any other country than America? Absolutely not.
By the way, this Finkelstein faggot in chat, I have to say, this guy really...
And I think that dude's really funny because he's saying at the same time that squatting is superior, but somehow he's got an issue with people who have special toilets that are designed for squatting on a toilet.
This guy gets 30 views and he's mad. You know what? I'd be mad too if I had a channel like that. I'd probably kill myself if I had to live like that. I think I would end it all. All right, now we're gonna let him talk and then we're gonna move on. Okay.
Okay.
All right, now Sexual Tyrannosaurus, go ahead. Final thought from you. I didn't end the call.
So
but we have to...
first of all, sorry, I think there's an extended lag, so I really wasn't.
No, it's okay. I understand. Yeah, it is seemingly a lag issue. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so just a couple quick points. First point, this whole toilet thing that you're getting stuck on, Stardust, is not. You're totally twisting this. I was trying to comment that they poop on Western style toilets the same way they poop on their toilets, which they're literally standing on the lids. It's pretty crazy. They get water and shit on everything. Anyways, the thing that you're doing here is that you're never addressing what I'm even bringing up, which is you said that, it's only in these poor areas. No, the entire country is disgusting and dirty. And you're trying to then play off that my country is just as dirty in these areas.
No, I never said that. I never said that about America. No, absolutely not.
People and they poop in the streets. That's why I called in because, I don't
know, absolutely not. Of course, India pollutes more. Of course they do. They've got so many more people. What the fuck are you talking about? I never said anything that America's the same as India. Are you fucking crazy? Geez, dude.
Hey, I'm not the one sitting here saying a lot of crazy shit.
You're the one who keeps bringing up shitting in the street, dude. You guys are all obsessed with shitting in the street. You guys love it so much. Maybe you guys should go try it. I don't know. I'm not into it, but, whatever you're into, dude. Fuck.
You are an insufferable dumb bitch. You can sunset me off. Wigger wins. Thanks.
Thank you so much. By the way,
Wiggers always win, bro.
Coming in the chat, coming through here one day a year, motherfucker, you ain't shit. You ain't never been shit. That's me saying it straight to your face. So you come in here and talking all this trash. You can suck my fucking dick. That's what you can do. And if you think I'm talking about you, I'm talking about you. How about that? Now let's take another caller. Night Nation Review. Go ahead, sir. Hello. Okay. All right. Goodbye. White Wolf, go ahead. Yeah, motherfuckers show up one day out of 365 and come here and think they're going to push motherfuckers around and talk shit. You ain't shit, bitch. Your fucking faggot friend who went off in chat. I wasn't even talking to this guy. I don't even know. I didn't even address this dude. I'd never heard of
male violence.
I'd never heard of this guy in my life. He literally wrote a fucking love letter paragraph in my chat, and I told him to fuck off and die. And his faggot girlfriends got upset about it. Well, you motherfuckers can fuck off and die too, Morgoth. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. Is that very clear for you, motherfucker? If you want to defend a fucking bitch like that, that's what you can do. Get upset with what I said. Stay mad. I want you to be very angry, bitch. Okay. Now, White Wolf, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
Great rant, by the way. So I was just wondering, Stardust, do you know about
Morgoth in the chat? I don't know if it's not the Morgoth that you think it is. Whoever this fucker is in chat. I don't think it's the actual Morgoth. I don't think it's the actual Morgoth. I don't know. If it is, fuck him. I don't know. If he's saying that shit, fuck him, yeah.
I don't know what's going on, man.
If it's actually him, and fuck him. I don't think it actually is. But if it is, then yeah, I don't care. Anyway, I don't think that's him, though, to be clear. Go ahead. That's another streamer, creator, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Right. It's a fake Morgoth, okay? I want to be clear. I wasn't trying to make it a Morgoth thing, all right? It was just a dude in chat.
Mark Paulette.
Right. Don't start that. Don't start that. It's my in chat. I've cussed out a Richard Spencer in chat before, too. And I think we got a Henry Ford that I fucking cussed at one day. We have all the dignitaries here. Himmler used to stop by every once in a while. Uncle A's not too far away all the time.
Oh, he's coming back soon.
Oh, he'll be back soon, judging by this show. Go ahead. Thank you.
I was just wondering, Stardust, do you know about Patriot Front, the guys that marched on DC?
Maybe vaguely. I don't know.
So you don't know about everyone calling those guys feds that marched on DC like a couple weeks ago?
Mm-mm. I haven't.
They're
really
not
kept up with it.
fucking feds, by the way.
They're not. They're definitely not feds.
Never mind.
Okay.
They're not fucking feds. I know that for a 100% fact.
Okay. What did you want to bring up about them? That they're not feds, or?
Explicit. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
They're an explicitly pro-white force. In our lifetimes, we've never experienced explicitly pro-white force. Non-whites don't even know what it feels like to feel, quote, white power, to quote Rockwell. So I don't think you really understand what's going to happen when the white race awakens. We're going to scare you off. It's going to
Why don't you tell me what you're gonna do?
Sorry?
Yeah, why don't you tell me what you're gonna do?
We're gonna care about ourselves and not care about you, just to put it bluntly.
Okay. In what ways are you not gonna care about us?
We just disregard you. Like all the non-whites are preying upon the white race right now, and once they get scared of us, like sort of like that story Ambrose told in the latest Hate House, how there's a white guy begging a black person for money, and the fear that black person had in their eyes. You can have a lot of these people.
Okay.
All right. Have you seen the state of South Africa, by the way?
South Africa specifically?
This is more kind of directed at John Fashcroft. He was talking about segregation earlier. I don't think segregation is going to even be necessary. I think once the white race wakes up, we're just going to scare these people off.
How are you gonna scare us?
Well, let me respond to what he's saying. Yeah, even in that situation, bro, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about that's what I was trying to explain to Stardust here. I'm not talking about a process because I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, I'm not smart enough logistically to tell you how that process would work. I'm talking about an end result, right? That's what I'm talking about. So the end result is just separation, our own place for our own people. How that happens, I don't really fucking know. You know what I mean? She was trying to press me earlier, trying to get me to say some crazy shit, and that's why I was playing into it a little bit. But like, I don't really know. I don't know how that shit works. You know what I mean? I just want the.
No, let me ask you. No, hold on, I want to take this because, and again, you know, you did start saying I turned you down because like I don't want to. Yeah. But I want to ask you this, Stardust, and I mean I've seen this on the. I posted one or two of these before, I mean I think it's I've seen it said, right? What if he had said, something violence or whatever? Like, is that what you were going for?
I was curious as to what it was, whether it's violence or what. I would have just been like, okay. But,
I mean, I don't support that, to be clear, and I've always said that many times, and I never have, never will. And we're hosting this debate. I want to say that clearly. But I do wonder because. It seems
can I say something real quick, Ralph?
Yeah, but and I'll let you. But I do wonder because sometimes, like, I know the audience sees it and they're like, "Oh, she's just trying to get him to say that," and then, well, what if he did say that? Like, I don't know.
Nothing. I would just nothing. I just want to know what he's proposing. Essentially,
the reason
if he says something like that, then. Whatever, I guess. Like you want to do violence on fellow Americans. That's fine, but.
And the reason I felt that was so dishonest, and the reason I think the chat thought that was so dishonest, is because if she'll remember, I led into that question by saying, ideally, I would like to see a peaceful separation. That was what I said, ideally, and then she kept pressing and pressing, trying to get me to say some crazy shit. So I just gave her what she wanted.
You can say what you want about wanting a peaceful separation, but there are going to be people who just are not going to do that. They want to stay where they are.
And whose fault is that?
Their homes are where they are.
To be fair, she raises a fair point too. That in a separation type scenario, there are some scenarios where it's not peaceful. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
You ever read about the separation of India and Pakistan?
No, I understand. Yeah,
that was not a good scenario.
It was not good, and it ended up being much worse for the country. I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I won't. That's debatable. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people died very brutally, and
hey, man.
Very quickly, and trains literally stacked with bodies going. Like it was one of the most brutal things of the 20th century, actually.
Yeah, Civil War wasn't pretty either. You know what I mean? But like,
Well, I mean, sometimes there are examples. I mean, there's peaceful splits too. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that, but sometimes they're not. So, I mean, that is.
Yeah, the balkanization was
Majority-
pretty fucked
majority of
up
the
too.
time.
You know what I mean? I am aware of that, and that's why I said, you know what I mean?
I
it
would
is
say
what it is.
majority of the time that separation is not something
I
that
would say
happens peacefully.
I would say that's fair to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually it's not peaceful.
And I would say I just don't.
It was
don't care.
colonized by a company. It really would not take much to take back our country. Like, you're not a challenge. It's because white people are scared. You don't know what an awakened white force looks like.
Well, again, taking back the country and all that, I don't know. I'm not about again that type of language. Look, I mean, I don't. What does that mean exactly? I sound like Stardust, but I mean, you know, it's that type of stuff. Like, if you're somebody listening to this who hates you, the caller, they would say this guy's talking crazy. You know, he wants to overthrow the government. Let's lock him up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to overthrow the government, to be clear. But I can see. But I'll say this: the government's broken, and I can honestly see why a lot of these things are not supporting them at all. But I can see why they're being openly discussed, and people don't even fear. Like, you think it's wild with a caller calling into the kill stream? Go to these events. Go cover this stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
Dude, the boomers talk a lot wilder than this. And you would think this is like the salons of Europe of yesteryear compared to some of the stuff I've heard in person.
The only
and they go off, dude. Yeah, you know,
the only time I've ever been nervous on a stream was with a boomer that I streamed with. I'm not going to name any names, but the only fucking time I've ever been like, oh shit, I might drop this call. What's on with a boomer, dude?
Yeah, they're wild. So the stuff, like, I mean, so I don't want to see that stuff happen, but I don't think people have a lot of full faith in this government and in most governments worldwide. But I can only, I live here in America, and I can tell you, just with each passing year, it gets worse and worse. And I don't really see any silver linings, particularly the last 5 or 10 years. It's just nothing but garbage. No real good legislation, nothing good coming from Washington. You talk about gridlock, it's like just complete and utter gridlock, and there's no end in sight. So I can definitely see why people say, fuck this thing.
Well, and that's what I've said. You know what I mean? That's why I say there's no fucking it's over, right? There's no saving this fucking thing because there's no one in power willing to do the things necessary to save this thing, right? They're all fucking hucksters. Every single one of them. Every fucking person in Washington, D.C. is a soulless fucking skin suit. They're demons. They don't have the best interest of anybody at heart.
That was always been the case, but they used to at least get together and maybe keep the ship on the fucking, from sinking.
Do you think they're literally demons with Fashcraft, or?
Yeah, in some cases, yes.
In some cases, yes. Okay. What percentage of them do you think are like literal demons?
I'm not doing that. I don't know. But I do think that is a thing. I think people can be overtaken by evil, and I think that a lot of people in power are. I'm not going to give you percentages or names or anything like that.
Okay. Would you say that being okay with violence would be kind of demonic?
No.
Okay.
Dude, you're a woman. Obviously, you hate violence. It's in your nature.
Well, there's some pretty violent shit in the Bible, too, if I recall.
Yeah, and I believe Jesus said, I bring not peace but a sword. Anyway. I come not to usurp the law but to fulfill it.
And our uncle said peace can only come with the strong guardianship of war. It was something like that. I butchered that, by the way.
All right, well, thank you, man. I appreciate you getting in here.
All right, catch you guys.
Thank you, man. Down under. Appreciate you, brother. We always have a strong Australian representation here on the Kills. Can you get a round of applause for Australia? All Australian viewers of the Kill Stream and alumni of the Kill Stream as well. Can't forget those. Fast John Croft, you're on the Kill Stream. Go ahead. Fast John Croft.
Wait, there's a Fast John Croft? This is a thing?
Well,
Sorry. Hello, John. How are you doing?
What's up, Fast John Croft? How are you, bro?
I'm doing all right. Just here in South Africa. Ralph, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah. Hello. What's up, man? How's it going?
Not
Fast
bad.
John
Not
Croft.
bad. What?
New caller.
How's South Africa?
That's a fair question.
A lot of black people here.
Well, There are a couple there. Yeah.
But Stardust, I was calling to talk to you specifically, all right? I wanted to tell you that I'm a farmer, and here on my farm, sorry.
Humble farmer.
Yes. I am African, but I'm not going to my dick here, you know. Just kidding. Anyways, Stardust, I wanted to tell you, Stardust, all right, that here on my farm, 2.5 or so years ago, we had an outbreak, and I'm not shitting you, of herpes among the sheep. We had fucking sheep herpes, Stardust. Now, tell me this, all right? Who do you think gave the fucking sheep herpes, Stardust?
I don't know. Who?
Please, all right? Please, all right? Please.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. You get two choices, all right? A white man or a bunch of fucking black people, all right? You pick.
I'm not picking.
She's not going to pick.
Because you know it was the fucking Kaffers, and you know this is the case, all right?
What?
And you want to Kaffers is
something
like
All right.
Wait. What does he say? What did he say?
That is this whole debate in a nutshell right
I'm
there.
just kidding, all right? It means non-believer
Means
for
great
Muslims.
people.
Oh.
Heard that.
Yes, all right. But anyways, all right, I just wanted to say, Stardust, that herpes and fucking sheep, all right? That's crazy, if you ask me. I wanted to give a compliment, all right, to Mr. Fashcroft. I think that you've done great here tonight, mate. You are not
Thank you.
some fucking... well, you're welcome, mate. Fucking... All right, I'm trying not to be nervous.
English
right?
not your first language, clearly. You remind me of somebody else who's usually on the show sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ralph.
Some people like him on the show, but yeah, he kind of stumbles over his words sometimes. He's a good guy, though. I like him.
Mr. Fashcroft, all right, you make yourself out to be some kind of, simpleton, but this is not the case, all right? You are actually extremely intelligent, and I've been very, very impressed by you here tonight.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I guess I'm just smart enough to know I'm not that smart. Isn't that a saying? Somebody said sometime. Somebody's smarter than me.
I don't like
That's
your
one of the best
humility,
talents you can have in life, by the way. And all jokes aside from this entire show, take what he just said, and that is one of the biggest fucking things you can ever learn in your life. All this aside, anything that was said tonight, I mean, take it in, of course, but literally, if you glean one thing from this show, take that from this show. Smart enough to know when you're not smart. All right. To know your limitations. It is literally so key. All right. Dingo,
I like it. Okay, I just wanted to say one last thing, please, all right? And then I'll get out of your hair, Mr. Ralph. Fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, okay, I know what I was going to say. All right. Now, nope, I totally forgot what I was going to say. All right. The last thing that I would like to say was I caught that fucking Dingo and Galaxy cunt last night.
Oh, yeah?
And I just have to say, all right, the Dingo fucking smoked this guy all night, all over the fucking place. Big brain Dingo is just a fucking hero of mine. If I could ever speak to him, Ralph, if you could set that up, that'd be great.
Wow, I'll see if I can do that,
Dingo's a great guy.
Yeah. I hear he's very handsome also.
He's really something else, I gotta say that. Yeah, for sure.
They have to buy his pants special. Have the crotch. Penis is so large.
I don't need to know that.
That sounds like you're really studying Dingo's dick. That sounds kind of gay.
Yeah, dude.
I asked him what he wanted for Christmas, Ralph. All right, you don't have to make it okay.
You buying him gifts too? Wait, you're buying him man gifts? Hold on, wait.
Yeah,
no,
this is something.
I buy my friends gifts.
Oh yeah.
You measure their junk though.
Not from the big and tall store, but from the big crotch store.
Get the fuck out of here. Thank you for calling in.
You're a fucking
get out of here. Get out of here. By the way, we had Big Tech Onion. He debated he debated last night on the show. He was in the green room. I was going to bring him in, but he's gone now.
Yo, hello, this is Geezer123, but I got banned from Discord.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. How's it going there? How was your Christmas and New Year's?
My Christmas and New Year's were both outstanding, actually.
Glad to hear. And that fucking South African bloke on the last call, he's interesting, wasn't he?
He was, actually. That guy seems familiar, though. Like,
Yeah,
You seem like you
actually
met
somewhere.
somebody before.
I think it's a better South African accent than an English accent, though.
That's true. They all sound the same. I can't.
I have a question for Stardust.
Yep, she's still here. Go ahead.
Are you from India? Because I'd like to get India panties.
Nice.
Out of here. Thank you. That's pretty good, though. All right, now, HP Hovercraft 13. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I forgot to press this for the last call. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, hey, Ralph, I'm a big fan, a longtime supporter. I've been under many different names over the past few years.
Wow. Thank you.
But wanted to say, John, I'm a big fan. Love you on Larry's show. I think you're funny as hell. But
dude, thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I got one question for the Indian lady. I wanted to ask her why the right side of her face don't work, and also you are a dumb bitch street shitter. You can sunset me, brother.
Sounds really good. Right side of my face.
Dude, I didn't notice anything. It's your face. Your face. I don't know. Does it? It works.
It seems to work, but you know what? Thank you for bringing it to my attention. If I'm having a stroke, I'll go and check that out. So, yeah.
Well, he's more concerned about your health, clearly. I mean,
Yeah. I do appreciate that.
He wants to make sure that you stay on the, apple a day, keeps the doctor away type shit. All right, now, let's see. Hopefully we'll have more friendly callers, maybe, such as that guy. Night Nation Review. Many different names. I wonder why he changed names over the years. Go ahead, caller. Are you still here? Oh, God.
Ralph, can you hear me?
Yes, what's up?
Oh, okay. Thanks, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for taking my call. Fucking Christ, man. Oh my God. So I just want to talk to these guys. What is the deal with the lefties and the denial of reality? I mean, they work so fucking hard with this stuff. Just admit it. I mean, there is a fucking difference. These differences are staying. Why do you work so hard at this, Stardust? Why?
Okay, so specifically what? I don't think I deny reality. Other lefties actually hate me. But yeah.
Night Nation, bro. What you gotta understand is she's not really a lefty, bro. This is a bit. I'm telling you, this is a bit she's doing.
Not a bit.
She's just doing a debate. It's
not
a
a
thing,
bit.
man.
I'm a liberal.
She doesn't believe any of this shit. She
believe
may have
all
liberal.
of it.
She may have liberal beliefs. I'm not saying that, but like the argumentation that she does is just it's a show. It's a thing she's doing.
It's not a show.
That's not a bad act, though. I mean, it's pretty good. It probably pays pretty well after a good amount of time. I mean, there's a whole grift around that I hear.
6 months and like fucking thousands of followers. I mean, she came up pretty quick.
I don't make that much money off of this, but yeah, I do believe what I say, and I argue what I believe in, so don't really know what else
You
to
asked
say.
John Fashcroft what he would have to take to switch his beliefs. Let's ask the same question to you. What would it take?
I think that's a fair question.
Sure. What would it take to switch my beliefs? To become a racist?
Well, I mean, race realist, let's say.
If people had some other solution other than separating people from society, and people had more than just one book to reference, I guess, as far as this whole race realism goes. So.
One book.
Yeah.
I
What
there's
does
the
this
Bible of race realism, and then there's a couple
And
of
what
other
is this?
things, but.
Please tell me, the race realist, what the Bible of race realism is. I would love to hear this.
Elaborate.
Well, what is it for you?
There isn't one. Reality. The walking out my fucking front door is the Bible for race realism for me.
So again, there's not really a whole lot that really convinces me on the race realism front. Race in general.
You've never read
we've
one?
No, I have read. So race in general is more of like a construct than it is like an actual thing. So You can laugh all you want, but it is what it is. And you can look at genetic variations between different groups. There's more genetic variation within Africa than there is in Europe in some cases.
That doesn't mean anything. If race is a social construct, how come they can tell if someone's black or white from their bone marrow? That's not a social construct. That's fucking science, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
And race actually plays a thing into organ donation, blood donation, all of this stuff. It's very, very real, and it's not a construct. A construct would mean that you could change it based on subjective values.
Well, you can't really change it. Just because something is a construct doesn't mean that it serves no purpose, right?
If something is a construct. No. If something is a construct, that means it's constructed and it's not real.
The way that we categorize races in America, we put like 50% of the world's population under one group. That seems a little like flawed to me, does it not?
Well, that's a map territory distinction, right? It's the difference between a concept and a thing in itself. Like we have the concept, and then we have the concept
of black is flawed, though. The concept of black, the concept of white, these are overly generalized.
Is it though?
It is, yeah.
No, it's not. Like I said, they can fucking test the bones of a corpse and tell if that corpse was black or white. That's just the facts. They can. There's no construct there. That's just a scientific fucking fact, dude.
There may be there are obviously like within different populations different health trends, but I would not say that takes away from the general.
You have denied. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to. You
have
have denied at least
three
different scientific proofs that race is a genetic reality, and you just keep fucking denying that.
Because there are plenty of studies out there that say the opposite. And again, when we look at race and the way that we classify it, the way that we classify race in America, we put all of white into one category, all of black into one category, all of Asian into one category. It sounds really fucking flawed to me. I don't think you can put all of that into one group. I mean, even white people aren't really decided on what white is. What is classified as white. Some people don't even consider some people don't consider Italians white. Some people don't consider Russians white. It's not a meme.
That's a meme. That's a Jewish meme.
I agree that this classification system might be broken, but we're not confused about that. And there are things that are very race specific, like diseases. For sickle cell anemia pretty much only affects black people, to my understanding.
Sure.
Disease pretty much only affects Jewish people.
It's more specific than black people, right?
Italians and Irish people were allowed to be U.S. citizens. They've always been considered white.
It's more specific than just black people, right? Like it's a specific group.
It's a specific percentage of black people. Africans, sub-Saharan Africans.
I would encourage you to go deeper, I guess.
I suppose into just sickle cell anemia?
Yeah, like specific populations for other diseases as well.
It's interesting. I always thought that from everything I've read about these diseases, you basically like white people are not afflicted by them. So how and those specific populations are. So I don't understand how you explain that if it's strictly on the objective level of reality that it's only a construct. Then how do you have things that only affect one specific?
Race is the construct, right? But there are different. The race is way too broad for us to be using that as like a.
No, it's not.
For me, it is. It's way too broad for us to be using that as a measure of anything, in my opinion. Because again, if
it's the only measure of anything,
if
it is almost 100% the results of the actions of the individual.
There's a huge difference between South Asians and East Asians and Southeast Asians, right?
Yeah, those are different ethnicities of Asian.
Mm-hmm. And there would be different like health risks among those groups, right?
I'm not familiar, but I imagine you're right.
Yeah, just like there's probably different health risks for people in South Africa or people in other parts of Africa.
I don't know. I reject this probably. I don't know that I don't know this to be true. I don't know that all Southeast Asian...
You're on the side of classifying 50% of the world's population under one group.
No, I'm on the side of we know what the fuck race is. I'm not going to do this stupid fucking game with you. This is the dumbest game ever. I'm not going to do it. You know what white is. You know what black is. You know what fucking Mexican is. You know what Arab is. You know what fucking race is. And you know it's a real genetic fact. And you know it is central to your identity.
Let me turn on TTS because several people sent some in. They want them played.
John Bolton sent $3, and if give birth to a son, what would you do then? Lol, exile him.
Wolfgang, go.
Wolfgang sent $3. Stardust is the monster that forms when you store remove the foreskins for too long. This Kalapujang front hole has daddy issues bigger than horse crows. If this beach ever bent over in public, a tsunami of barf would engulf the planet. No good.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
Hovercraft sent $3. You mind pulling me in real quick? Ew, be quick, FRFR.
Neon Nicker sent $10. Dalton, get a hold of yourself, man. You are literally arguing with a woman over street shitting practices. Snap out of it, bro.
I'm not used to it.
I don't know this tune.
I do have to get going somewhat soon, so.
Wow.
John Bolton sent $3. Imagine a kill stream, everyone talking about some dude in India taking a shit. I have seen it all night.
Godzilla 37 sent $3. There is no rush for brown people to go to any other countries but traditional white ones. Why is that fact?
Sent that in
and it is a fact. Is it
over
magic soil? Then when you finally answer that honestly, then why do you feel we should welcome this browning?
Now wait, and again, I'll play the others, but I'll let you answer this. And
sure.
He sent this up too.
Do you ever think that maybe it's Western countries are also looking for highly talented people from other countries? Like that plays a part into it, right? Like it's not just one way. There are people in other countries that are yeah, sure, they're looking to get out of those countries, but we are looking for highly talented people.
Hold on.
We are looking for highly talented people from other countries, and that's why so much of the healthcare industry is filled with people from different countries.
Do you know why corporations look for these quote-unquote highly talented people from other countries? Because the government fucking forces them to. Because they have to meet diversity quotas, and they can get them for fucking cheaper. It's literally just capitalist scum that fucking send our work overseas. They're traitors. Fuck them. You guys aren't any more talented. You guys are not any more talented than the white stock of this country. You're not. You're not any more talented than the white fucking stock of this country. The only reason they do it is to fulfill their fucking diversity quotas and get cheap fucking labor. You guys don't got shit on the white American worker.
All right, let me respond to this. All right, so if you think that you and the rest of America is not highly reliant on our health worker force, you're severely wrong, dude. You're fucking brain dead. You may as well just lay down and continue sleeping in your fucking coma because you clearly are living in one.
We don't need your fucking brown labor.
Let me fucking finish. I let you finish, okay? So, again, what I would say is that the healthcare industry is so highly reliant on immigrants. We already operate on a shortage of healthcare workers. If we had the numbers and we had the people to fill those roles, we would have filled them before going overseas. But we don't.
Bullshit.
That's why we need people. Shut the fuck up. I'm speaking,
fuck
dude.
You. You're fucking lying.
I'm not lying. You can go look at the fucking statistics, bro. 50% of doctors identify as white.
Those statistics are driven by diversity quotas, you dumbass.
Right from DC.
Diversity quotas for the healthcare industry? You think the healthcare industry is driven by anything other than pure need?
100%. I think they're driven by diversity quotas. Absolutely, the healthcare industry has diversity quotas that are enforced on them by the fucking state.
50% of doctors are non-white. 50% of doctors are non-white. You think that's? I feel like that's more than enough of a diversity quota.
There's other reasons too, especially for the lower level healthcare workers, where they're kind of locked in on those S-1B visas, where they're basically slave labor in the sense that if they get fired from the job, they go back. So they're stuck.
Also a government program, 100%.
Own them, basically. The same with the tech workers that come in from India and China. What's about that?
We actually we rely on, especially in geriatric care, because we have such a booming elderly population. We don't have enough health workers to help elderly people, elderly patients specifically. We don't have enough people in our country to fill all of those roles. So we are heavily reliant again on immigrants for just that.
All right. Thank you, Night Nation. I'm going to have to move it along
Absolutely.
a little bit.
Thanks, Ethan.
But,
Appreciate
by the
it,
way,
man.
thank you for being a part of the Free Route Festival yesterday. This is kind of a part of it, too. We've had to split up a lot of debates. But thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Sunset me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I do have to get going somewhat soon. So
That's cool. Let me let these roll since they paid me money for those. Go ahead.
John Fashcroft wins, sent $10. The healthcare industry has subsequently gone to complete shit in this country, and is now a joke. You couldn't pay me to visit one of your Caribbean doctors. LMOO.
Dan Bigfoot sent $3. Does she understand that doctors from India are allowed to come to the United States and practice with an Indian standard on American patients?
no, that's not true. They have to pass exams over here, and they have to meet certain standards. So.
Sexual Tyrannosaurus sent $3. Stardust. You answered a question with a question. What was that one book you said all racists love?
Well, there's like the race realist, the big race realism book that came out back in like the early 90s, I believe, which was the Bell Curve, right? And then I think there's
like
some
one
others.
Charles Murray wrote the Bell Curves. Yeah, it was like mid-90s. I was like 93, maybe 95. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some
And a lot
mid-90s.
of people still base a lot of their views off of that. But yeah,
What about Robert Putnam's book Bowling Alone? Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of Robert Putnam, but
Where basically he set out to prove diversity was this amazing thing, and then he hid his research for like, I don't know, he didn't want to release his research, and then finally he released it. He released it, and he found that everything was fucked because of diversity.
I have heard of
Read the book.
Putnam, and I have heard that the conclusion was much different than what you're saying, but
Well, it wasn't. You can go look for yourself.
Okay,
I can send you a PDF if you want.
that's okay.
No PDF needed. Okay, all right. Now, let me... Go ahead.
John Ashcroft wins sent $10. Oh no 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 no. The chuddening is only just beginning. In 5 years people will look back and think, wow, we sure did know how to get along back then.
Night Nation sent $3. Stardust. What percentage of those 80% men are black men or Latino men and usually involved in a gang?
Does it matter if it's all men? Let's just get rid of the men.
It does, and you know it.
It doesn't.
AF Ohio Patriot sent $3. We wouldn't need brownies if Big Pharma didn't addict white people to heroin,
Brownies,
meth, etc. Browns are cheaper. You get what you pay for. White people are talented enough.
They're clearly not if they're not filling those jobs.
Dude, that's driven by the government, and you fucking know it, dude.
How
Get
is it
out of
driven
here.
by the government if we don't have
I
enough
just
people
fucking laid it
who can
out for you
fill
from
those
capitalist
jobs?
interest.
Are you a communist?
Money.
Holy shit.
Capitalist, and I'm a fascist. Know your fucking political theories. Capitalist
Well,
interest.
okay, are you a fascist that's
and
a communist or a capitalist?
And capitalists have very similar, fascists have very similar critiques of capitalism as do Marxists. Yes, they do, because capitalism is a Jewish, disgusting system. But
Wow,
the
you're
reason
I heard people
this shit
calling
is what it is.
Marxism a Jewish thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Jews can control more than one thing. It's called two sides of the same coin. Have you ever heard of that concept?
Then what do you want? If capitalism
no, I'm not gonna derail from what I'm saying.
Want?
Listen to me. I'm not gonna derail from what I'm saying. This is driven by capitalist interest and diversity quotas put on these companies by the state. That is a 100% fact.
Okay, if white people are a majority and they're voting for white people, and those white people are voting for policies, what's going wrong here?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
If white people are a majority in America and they are voting for politicians as a majority, and those politicians are voting for policies, what's the problem here?
Are you asking me because of an entire population has been hoodwinked by the propaganda of Jewish capitalists? Why does that not work? I mean, what's your question here? I don't understand what you're saying. Are you really trying to sit here and say that the population of this country hasn't been misled by capitalism? Are you really sitting here saying that with a straight face?
Misled by capitalism. What do you want other than capitalism?
Fascism.
Okay, what
it works on a corporatist
system?
structure. It works on a corporatist structure, and what corporatism is each industry is run by a guild that is consistent, that is made up of different sectors of each industry, right? So there will be like a journeyman electrician, an apprentice electrician, a contractor, a consumer, and someone that oversees the board, and those people will set the regulations for that industry. And within that industry, you can still have independent businesses. The government does not own the means of production. You can still have your own personal business. You can still be a successful businessman. You just can't fuck people over anymore. You can't wait till the fucking power grid goes down and then let me finish. Let me finish. You can't wait till a catastrophe happens and then spike your fucking cost up and take advantage of people in your vulture capitalist schemes. That's what fascism protects against.
Okay, who owns the means of productions in your system?
The people, the same way they do now. It's just like it is now. It's just highly regulated by a guild.
So you're advocating for syndicalism?
There are syndicalist ideas that are close to fascism, but no. You need to read up on your political theologies or doctrines. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
I can also send you the doctrine of fascism if you need that as well.
I'm okay. Thank you.
We're always bringing people together here on the kill stream. All right, now let's see. I got some of these. I'm going to let her go, so I'm going to try to run through these real quick. Go ahead, Winston.
Winston Fujimori sent $3 question to Stardust. It has nothing to do with the topic. I'm not a WN but Fashcraft one. So there's this girl on Twitch I'm friends with and she's pretty hot. Can you put a good word in for me so I can slide into her DMs and get some e-girl pussy?
I don't know any of those people, so.
Chris Stubbs sent $3. Third leading cause of death is medical malpractice and botched procedures. Citing immigration for healthcare is an argument constructed by a retard.
Okay.
Shinshan256B sent $3. I think Stardust has a sexual kink for Fashion Dingo.
What?
She needs to do a seat check. See if she needs to change chairs.
Wait a minute. Now, whoa.
Anonymous sent $3. Stardust. 78% of the slave-owning households in the South prior to the Civil War were ethnically Jewish, not white European. This is sourced in the Jewish World Encyclopedia and the 1840 census. Can you admit here tonight Jews are not white?
What in the fuck kind of... That has to be the weirdest thing that I've learned here tonight, so...
Well, we're all learning every day, day to day. We all learn on this journey together here on Earth. All right, now let's see.
True, though. There is actually a black guy that wrote a blog about this called We Thought They Were White. Talked about most of the slave owners and most of the people who own the slave ships were Jews.
That's fun.
I don't know anything about it. All right, now let's see. K-Max says, for Stardust, when forensics teams look at evidence, don't you agree they find the race of the suspect often? The O.J. Simpson case determined African-American hair follicles at the scene. This was not skin color, but hair follicles. Do you feel forensics has flawed tactics?
No, but when we look at race, it's still too broad. I think that it would be much more useful for us to look at much more specific groups, like ethnic groups, things like that. And even then, I don't know that there's that much variation between these groups, other than like some health trends. So.
All right, let's see. Black Guy Bigot says, I find racist white men funny because the vast majority of white men are cucked, small dick energy, and on their fourth booster. Boys yelling at women makes you look real beta. Can someone explain why whites start meaningless wars all over the world? There's a black guy bigot there in the chat. I don't know if anybody. I'm the host. I don't have to. I'm white too, but I don't have to answer it. You want to take that, Fastcroft, or anybody?
What was the question?
He said most white men are cucked. He said he's black bigot, black guy bigot. It says. He said most white guys are cucked, and why do they start meaningless wars everywhere?
You know what, dude? I'm not even going to lie to you. A lot of the white race has been browbeaten into denying their feral or their more activist nature. Right? Yes, white people are in large part cooked, is what I'm saying. I agree with that, and that's a problem. That is a problem. As far as white people starting meaningless wars, recently, in the past few decades, or really since the 1940s, it's all been for Jews, bro. That's why. I mean, I don't know what else you're talking about. Are you talking about recent history or in the past? I mean, the Crusades were a response to Muslim aggression. I mean, all of our wars that we have engaged in on ourselves as European men have been just. It's only been in recent history since the 40s, since we've been servants to the Jew, that we have started these unnecessary wars in the Middle East.
Every conflict from the 40s on Jewish people.
I don't know much about Korea, but yeah, almost every other one but that.
Wow, dude.
Maybe not Vietnam.
That is amazing.
All of the wars in the Middle East, 100%.
Okay.
All right, no. Let me see. I was reaching for something over here too. Let me see. K-Max McDonald says, for Stardust, do you believe India and China experience a brain drain when they lose their best talent? Yeah, and I was actually thinking of this earlier, and I meant to mention this. I mean, it's been mentioned before. It's not an original thought necessarily, but they were talking about the immigrants here. There's a reason you see very smart immigrants from Africa, et cetera, is because they, were selected for that, right? Like
you know what? They can make the argument.
Country though, right? Like, I mean, they would be doing some good things there.
Maybe. But I mean, here's the thing. Like, you're making the argument about brain drain in one country, and then in the same sentence making the argument that all of these immigrants who come over are low IQ and they're doing bad in the country. So I don't think you can. I think you have to choose one.
No, you don't. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
They are very contradictory.
No, they're not. Just because they're smart for those, like, just because they're smart for an African doesn't mean they're smart in America, right? A genius in Africa is average in America, dude. Like, and you know that. Get the fuck out of here.
I doubt that. Highly doubt that.
All right. Right now, I think, okay, there are two more, and then I'll let you guys wrap. And I got to read two more, too.
John Ashcroft once sent $3 were way beyond words. You do well to start planning your strategic repatriation.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
AF Ohio Patriot sent $3. Why do Indian-run gas stations always smell like poo-poo?
Nice.
Thank you for that. All right, now, there was one. Hold on. Actually, two. Godzilla says, you have no problem blaming all those wars on whites, but shocked when we say Jews. He says that in chat. Were you shocked? Is that a fair thing? He said, I don't know if you were specifically blaming all those. I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, I wasn't blaming any, but I think it's funny that if all wars since the 40s are being blamed on some one group, I guess. So. Yeah.
Well, Vietnam, okay, so World War II was obviously fought over the Jews. Vietnam was fought over communism, which is a Jewish ideology. All of the wars in the Middle East are fought over Jews. I mean...
I thought you said capitalism was Jewish.
I did. They are both Jewish. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Is feudalism
That's what you don't
Jewish
understand.
Too?
I don't know much about feudalism, ma'am.
Dude, the Jews really gave us a
know.
lot.
I would just be talking out of my ass.
I like them.
I bet you fucking are. I bet you fucking love you some Jews.
Well, I mean, you guys are blaming them for the all these theories, all these political theories. Damn, dude, those are some smart people.
They make a damn good sandwich. I will say that.
And bagels are amazing.
The pastrami up in New York. This shit is good. I'm sorry. That's my buddy Westeen says this person is far from talented. She's a trigger artist. What Buddy said. Hex
Trigger
02.
artist, stop being triggered then.
I haven't heard that term before. Actually, kind of trigger artist. That doesn't sound too bad. Hex 02 says for Stardust, is Lawrence. I remember this one. Is Lawrence Fishburne white?
Who?
She doesn't even know the fuck.
Literally the same response. Literally the same response. Sorry.
Black actor. Well, I mean, he looks black. I'm not sure. Anyway, then it says also, John, keep up the good work. I see for my people represent. Thank you for that. Godzilla again checking in. Jenny WTNB says, what percentage of the 80% of black men? Star's response was incorrect. States do have the right to secede. The U.S. Constitution doesn't recognize or deny the right of state secession in general. Well, this is a
Constitution doesn't recognize it, then I would assume that it's illegal.
This is a long-term. I mean, the constitutional legality of secession is like one of the bottom line issues, I guess, in the whole republic. One of those things it's always debated. Of course, we had a civil war though, and so.
John, I have a question. What's the symbol behind your avatar?
That's called the sun and rod.
What is it?
It's a black sun. It's a representation of like a zodiac.
A zodiac. Okay,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing else on it.
What are you looking for here? It's a black
don't
fucking
know.
sun. It's a symbol.
Who does it represent?
Actually, to be honest with you, to me, it's very reminiscent of the swastika or the rebel flag. It's a symbol of white resistance, right? That was on Heinrich Himmler's floor in his office.
Okay.
All right, now.
It's also been found in Aryan culture all throughout history. So.
Okay. The swastika was
Aryan as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
The Brahmins were white. If that's what you're getting at, that it was an Indian symbol, the Brahmins were white.
Oh, were they? Okay.
That's a known thing, yeah. You can look all that shit up on your own. I'm not going to go through that history lesson with you, but yeah, the founding stock, the Brahmins, the Indians were white. That's what Indo-European is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, there was a super chat here from earlier. Oh wait, I think I played that one, right?
Why Burger King?
Burger King. What?
It's a meme.
It's a meme. Okay.
Yeah, it's a meme. The guy that was screaming hard R's on an airplane was wearing a Burger King hat and a bandana.
I think we covered everything though. I'm trying to think. We didn't get all the callers in, but we've been here for like 3 hours, so it's not like we took plenty of the participants' time. So I think it was a lot of fun actually. I had a lot of fun with it. And
I did too, man.
I did too.
I enjoyed it.
I had a lot of fun.
Really? Well, good. I'm glad too. I was hoping you guys felt that way. The audience, I thought, really got into it too. We didn't really know where it was going to go, where it was going to head, and truly did not know where. That was an age of innocence when I look back. Really honest about that. But it was a lot of fun actually. Stardust, tell them where they can find you, and thank you for doing it. Appreciate you.
I'm Stardust on.